before I passed out on the couch.
I saw it.
We good?
Yeah, you're good.
The
Yeah, the
article from last weekend, from last meeting.
Yes.
All right, let's call this meeting to order. It is currently 5:37. This is the Special Needs Advisory Board, Town of Miami Lakes. Let's do our roll call. Vivian,
Here.
Yesenia,
Here.
John, here. Francisco.
Here.
Larry is not here yet. I'm sure she'll be here soon. Alexandria
Here.
and Madeline.
Present.
All right, we have quorum. All right, so order of business, any additions, deletions, or deferrals? Anyone have anything they wanted to add?
Yes, an addition. I would like to add San Francisco, Dojo of Exceptional Wellness. If we can put him like, as one of the first ones, so.
No problem. We'll put him up on number one. So he'll be under A, under C, event discussions under A. We'll move the mayor's gala down to B and so on. So since he goes into A. Anyone else? Another thing I would say, let's move the approval of minutes up above public comments and move public comments below approval of minutes. I don't know why I reversed that. So we need to approve the minutes before we start the meeting anyway. This meeting, the new minutes are done with our new secretary, Alexandria. Sorry, Francis.
Visit, no apology needed. I'm thankful and grateful.
Take a look at everything, guys. Make sure that everything looks okay.
I sent Clarisol yesterday an updated one under DG's cooking. I had left mention in past blank, so I added that in. And then I also corrected Ghani's name.
Okay, so that's already been corrected. So just under 7C, just ignore that because it's been corrected already.
I didn't mean to encourage you.
No, how are you?
How are
You get a free
guys?
pass.
All good?
Oh, okay.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Perfect
too.
timing. Perfect timing.
Everything looks good on this from what I can see. Anyone got any changes? Good. I say, let's make a motion to approve the minutes as edited, that you have the edited version, you know that, so the motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, the minutes are approved, my friends. All right, let's move on to public comments, and we have a couple of them here today. Would you like to start?
Whoever would like to go first.
I think he's on, you're the one that's with the dojo, right? Yes. Okay, so he's on the main list, so you're the only public comment. Please stand, introduce yourself, if people don't know who you are already.
Ray Garcia, 6796 Main Street. Thank you for allowing me to speak. And thanks for everything you guys do. I know that you guys put a lot of time and Vivian and I have spoken a lot, and I do have a son with autism, so I understand what everybody has to go through. And it's a challenge, but I can't think of my life any other way than having my son. So the reason I'm here, guys, is to speak about something that might benefit you. Is Optimist Park. I don't know if you guys are aware that the council passed for a resolution to appear on the ballot in November 8th. And it is to allow the residents to decide whether to vote on the park or not. So it's very important that whether you're for the park or you're against the park, that you're involved and you vote either way. I personally used to be a park director, so I'm very biased when it comes to that. But this bond will allow residents to decide if they want to invest in their future. The city and Dade County Public Schools came to an agreement where you have the land for 60 years, and that land is worth tens of millions of dollars, and God knows what it's gonna be worth in the future. And what we have to do is build the park and maintain the park. We're gonna have more parking, we're gonna have fields, bathrooms, new lighting, which will save a lot of money in electricity. Not just an gymnasium, so it'll be a covered basketball court. So it'll give opportunities, and it's all ADA, of course, compliant. So it'll give more opportunities for our residents to enjoy the park. And it'll keep us, I think, personally, we were developed as a town with a park in every neighborhood. And that's our central park. And it's rotting and rusting from the inside. So I personally am gonna vote yes, however, you can decide whatever you want to decide. The average homeowner will pay about $70-something a year, about $6.45 a month. If your house is worth $1 million or the assessed value, it's less than $1 a day. If your house is worth, $300,000, $400,000, you're looking at, $14, $15 a month, which I know times are tough, but the longer we wait for this, the more it's gonna cost. So I think now's the time to actually vote on it. So I just wanted to share that opportunity with you guys. On Saturday, we're meeting at the clubhouse. It's gonna be a super Saturday. We're gonna walk the neighborhoods and share the story of the park. If you want to look that up, it's saveoptimuspark.com. And it's just a way for you guys to learn a little bit. The whole Save Optimus Park is just a way to educate the residents on the benefits of doing that. And we're just a resource to residents, because the town cannot, by law, take a stance either way, right? They can give you information, but they cannot take a stand on it. So as someone who loves parks, and I know you guys use our park, especially Optimus Park, with the playground and all that, I think it's something that you might share and think about deciding on. Thank you for allowing me to take the time. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
And this is Optimus Park,
Optimus Park, yes, ma'am.
67 in Lakeway North, south north.
Yeah, right there next to the school. Yes, ma'am, the middle school.
And is there any way that they're gonna be showing us or telling us about what's actually gonna be on there?
Yes, there's going to be information. I actually have a site plan. That's here. I can show it to you guys. I don't have any other copies, but there, yes, the
I
city's,
should take a picture of it.
yeah, the city's going to have that information. What's in it, what's involved. It used to be $25 million. Now it's 19.5 million. Yeah, that's a lot of money. I know. It's a lot of money. 5 years ago it would have been, a lot less. 10 years ago it would have been half. With infrastructure, as you know, the longer you wait, the more things cost. So costs continue to go up. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. So it's gonna go to the voters.
Yes.
Whether to do these improvements or not.
Mhm.
So basically, if it doesn't pass, that means nothing's getting done.
Yeah, if it doesn't pass, and we would have to, because we have money, a couple $1 million saved for Optimus Park. We would have to figure out ways to be creative, a lot more creative, and the flooding is the main issue. It's 50 years old. When it rains, I mean, I remember coaching there, and there were sometimes weeks we couldn't play. The flooding alone, raising it, creating areas like Royal Oaks Park. I don't know if you've been there. When it rains, they have 2 capture zones that capture all that water. Well, I'm sorry, in Optimus Park, all that water stays in the fields until it actually drains. So yeah, we would have to be real creative and go as you pay as you go. If you wait too long, by the time you finish the whole project, it might even cost more than $8,500 because just costs continue to go up. Costs continue. And I speak from experience because I was project manager for a lot of parks in the city of Highland Gardens, and I actually, helped build the parks, do the bidding, oversaw the construction down to the opening day. So to see it be an idea and to be planned, to have everybody involved, and to see it come to fruition and actually be there on opening day is an incredible experience. And I would love to see, Magna Lakes experience that again, if possible.
Do you know how long the project would take?
Yeah, well, the construction will take about a year. And the whole bidding process and deciding will take another 9 months to a year. So we're not really going to see, if we say yes now, late 2023, early 2024. It's going to take a little while. Yeah, absolutely. We're not going to see that. And correct me if I'm wrong, Councilwoman.
You're right.
It's going to take a while, guys. And the longer we wait, honestly, it's our central park, and great towns have great parks. All we're asking for the minimum standard that other cities have our size. We're not asking for anything extravagant, honestly. It's best practice of parks all throughout Dade County that we're asking for.
Well, I would say that we as a board are familiar with the park, since we recently had the part of the park refurbished for you guys.
Yes.
With the boundless position. And I think that was one of the parents that we've talked to, all the parents who said one of the biggest problems is parking and then access to that section of the park. So improved parking would definitely be a good thing.
Yeah, over 100 extra parking spaces will be added, absolutely. More parking will be added. The wheel and spoke design makes it more efficient. Like right now, you have to park and walk across the entire park sometimes. I know Casavana and that shopping center has said no parking top in this park because people have to actually park there and cross to get to some of the fields. This will make it a lot easier to get to the amenities. It'll also make it a lot easier to maintain as well. It's just a lot of savings we're going to see. It's a more efficient design, guys. That design is 50, 60 years old. This design is more modern. Well, it's not really that modern. The wheel and spoke design has been around for 30, 40 years. We're just behind the 8 ball on it. But yeah, it will help with parking. It'll be a more efficient traffic flow as well. So it'll help, and I know the officers would like to see that. It'll be more efficient traffic flow as well, make it easier to get in and get out, especially during events.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
Thank you for your time, everybody.
Appreciate it. The only other person that could possibly be public comments, Ms. Marilyn, would you like to speak?
Yes, thank you. Thank you guys so much for having me. I just wanted to join you really quickly to share something wonderful that Officer Amador and I participated in. A couple of weeks ago, we went to the Citizens Crime Watch Gala, and we were happy to receive this plaque on behalf of Ms. Vivian Levy. There was nothing but accolades and wonderful things that were said about Vivian and about this committee and about our community for creating the special needs registry, for implementing it, and for kind of spearheading that. I know that Officer Amador has spoken to other precincts, and there are multiple municipalities that would like to go in this direction. So I appreciate all the work that you guys have put in. I appreciate Vivian for her vision of such a wonderful thing, and appreciate Officer Amador for all of the work that he put in as well. So you weren't there in person, but we were happy and honored to receive it on your behalf.
Picture. Officer Amador nominated me for this award, so I'm very humble, and it was.
Well, you deserved it.
Thank
You're the only
you.
person that deserved it, really. It was just great that you won, you know, that they considered it. Because it's for the whole county. In case of it's a Citizens Involvement Award for all of Dade County. So, you know, they have, I don't know how many nominations, but we're talking about, you know, from Homestead all the way to 212th Street. And Vivian won. So we're very happy.
I mean,
you know.
with our name should be on here, not mine. But, you know, I want to share this with all of you. We all did this together. You know, we all worked on it together. So thank you so much. And thank you again for nominating me.
She's being modest.
Thank you. Cheese.
You going there? Okay. Well, look at me then. Got it.
You wanna
Thank
take
you.
another one? You want to?
And thank you for
No,
going
please, it was my
on my behalf to pick it up because I wasn't able to go.
It was my
unfortunately.
pleasure. It is committees like yourselves that make Miami Lakes look amazing in the eyes of the county. So when you sit there, for me, it's an honor to sit there and hear the name of the town mentioned and the fact that we are doing wonderful things, particularly in the realm of special needs, which is very near and dear to my heart. So I really appreciate it. I know it's a labor of love and sometimes it takes a little bit of time to materialize, but everyone is finding out about it. And this is like contagious. So I think that that's the best part, that there's other municipalities that would like to do the same thing. And we get to share this with a lot of people. So thank you.
I found out today that Doral is doing it now.
Yep. We talked to Darrell, or I talked to Darrell, and I talked to Hialeah. It was shortly after you guys launched the program, and when we had Mayor Bobo come up to the school and check out the school at SFACs, I told him, I said, well, you know, our board had just created this. And he's like, what is this? What is this thing? I need to hear more about it. I'm like, well, just ask the board. Well, 2 days later, they had a whole program based off of what we did. And I asked him, I said, you didn't happen to copy that from us, did you? He goes, "Yeah." So,
It's great. In this case, we want to be copied
Right.
over and over and over again.
and he mentioned that they talked to Doral, and Doral was gonna do what we did as well. And I think everyone here, you can be as humble as you want, Vivian, but I think everyone here knows that this was really your idea. I mean, we all had ideas and things that we wanted to do, but you pushed to get this thing done. No, I don't think any one single person here can take as much credit as you can on putting this together. It's very wonderful that you pushed so hard to make sure it got done, and now it's enacted and becoming a part of not only this community, but probably, I think the whole entire county is gonna implement these things.
From your lips to God's ears.
Yeah,
So
that's
between
the
that and
goal.
the video that
The
you guys put
goal,
together was
yes.
amazing. The video for the Boundless Playground is also amazing. You guys are doing wonderful, wonderful work with these videos. Whenever we post them, we just get the best feedback. And I think that there's some municipalities that are also going to follow along in that pattern, right? Where we inform the community through these wonderful videos that are, you know, kind of engaging, and every person that has been showcased has done wonderfully, from the major to John. Everybody has just, I don't know, you guys become superstars when you when you film, and it's like flawless. I know that Donnie is wonderful, but it is flawless. So the last one that we did on budgets was actually really, really great. So thank you also for that. I know that you put a lot of hard work into that. So
Don't worry, we
We are
got
very
some coming
happy.
up for the gala here soon, so you'll get to see that one next.
that is awesome. Thank you guys so much.
No, thank you, because Ms. Ronald spoke amazingly at the event, and she really showcased what the program is. So a lot of people, I think, didn't understand, and then you spoke, and it was perfect. It was so clear and precise.
Thank you. It is the epitome of community engagement with our police force. It's just the perfect way to explain to people that the officers are our friends, they're part of our Miami-Dade family, and they take care of us like family. So this is just one more component of what they do that is just so great. Thank you. And thank you for sharing that night with me. It was a lot of fun. Take up any more of your time. Thank you, thank you. It's great.
You're welcome. Anyone else for public comment? No? I say we go ahead and close public comments. Now let's get on to
God
our
says.
meeting. So we're gonna do this a little differently. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. That instead of doing old business, new business, what have you, we're basically taking this entire hour that we have left, because there is another meeting after us at 7, so we have to be finished. To come up with concepts, ideas, and strategize about how we can do events in our community. That's been our biggest push that we've been wanting to do for a while now. And every time we come up with ideas, it takes 2 or 3 meetings to get it done. And by the time we actually get to the meeting to do it, we don't have time to do it. So what I want to do is, if we can come up with some ideas today, and we can nail down, Claricel, welcome. She is actually provided us with a couple calendars here that we can write in some places that maybe if we want to try and do something that day, she can run it back, check with it. There's only 2 things that it's the same. It's not September,
It's a different
October,
month.
November. So we're gonna write them in as we go along.
It's one copy of each month.
But here's the thing that I do want to make sure we do. So there's going to be 2 different types of events. There's the events that we are creating, that we are managing, that are one-time, 3-time, multi-month time events. Those do not necessarily, from what I understand, have to be town approved. We just tell them what we're doing, and they look at it and say, okay, that looks good. There are the ones that, like the Arts for Autism programs. If we do anything like that, where we're partnering with an organization and they're going to do a long-term program in one of our facilities, that has to have approval from the town. They're going to have to create, we'll have to work with them to create a business plan, like we did with Arts for Autism, to explain what they're doing in the town, how it's going to work, and then the town approves it before we can actually start that program. Correct?
Yeah, so if it's an ongoing program, using one of our facilities for a long term, then yes, that is a correct steps.
Okay, very good. So the first thing I want to do here, we have 2 things before we start the planning and discussion. The first thing was an update on the special needs registry because he wasn't here last meeting. Mr. Amador, would you like to give us a quick update on how things are going?
Yes, and I apologize for not being here last meeting on
No,
the
it's perfect.
24th.
You know
We
why
were-
Let me explain.
We're behind you
yeah,
on that
we had
100%.
So we're at 12 now. We have 2 more registrants that are being processed. So it's coming along, you know, little by little, and I keep getting the emails and the calls, and people are asking, and I've intercepted people at my, especially at Bob Graham, where I'm at every day now. There's so much traffic that is great because I can just stop and go, hey, you know. So everybody complain about the traffic, except me, yeah. Bring it back, you know. So I've had a lot of interest in just talking to people there, because where I'm at in the morning is where the special needs people come. So I can see them, and, you know, I don't want to offend anybody. So I can look, I've noticed that, you know, you have this in your car and this and that, and this is why I'm providing it for you, you know. So it's a good gateway that I have there.
So Claricel gave us, or emailed us that's the flyer we've been working on for the special needs flyer that you asked for. Is this the 8x10 version?
Yes.
So that's the 8x10 version. I don't know, we still had a 4x6 version too, right?
This is the only thing that I found in our files.
That's the only one you found.
But if all you need is to rearrange the sizing, I mean, as long as all the information is correct and current, reformatting is not going to be an issue.
Okay, why don't you take that sheet, look it over, see what you think might be better or not better for the people that you're talking with. Let's get because you have more in front time with them to see what they might see as a reason to say yes or reason to say no. The big one is going to be the one that goes to the schools and gets placed in front of businesses and stuff. The 4x6 version, which you can tell me what you can tell us what you want to pull out of it, just to have on the 4x6 version, was the one you wanted to be able to hand out people instantly.
But one thing that I noticed again was the other day I went on and just put special needs registry town of Miami Lakes, and it took me to the website for the town. And yeah, you know, special needs, excellent, no video. Didn't show anything of the video. It was just the page. It talks about the special needs, but you scroll up and down. On the bottom, there's a link for the paperwork and no video. So
On what page is that?
I just put town of Miami
On
Lakes.
Google?
Yeah, on Google, yeah,
Okay.
on Google. So I think the video is the main, because I tell everybody, look at the video, that's why, like, whatever link this is, it has to be just to the video, because the video explains everything. And it's more visual, you know, and you can watch it 5 times if you didn't figure it out.
Is it
Yeah.
bilingual?
Is it what?
Bilingual? No.
No, it's not. It's a bit-
You know
Maybe
what?
subtitles and to add to the video.
I never thought about that.
Well, I work at Highland Gardens, everybody's Spanish.
Yeah.
My whole class is Spanish.
Yeah. And I've gotten calls that are just strictly in Spanish too.
So we might need to consider having everything dubbed so that we can have it in both English and Spanish. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, because subtitles is important in both languages, because if someone, you know, if auditory, that they can read it. So it would be a video, I would say.
The other advantage of subtitles is that you can also use it on SEO.
When you put the videos on the website, are they uploaded natively or are they uploaded like with YouTube?
YouTube.
YouTube
Well,
automatically does captions, so that caption should be there for English. But we can, let me ask Connie, because I had talked with him tomorrow about our next round of videos. Let me ask him if he knows of any way we could do a Spanish version of it, just have it voice over in Spanish with the same script. 'Cause all I gotta do is copy what you guys have said and then have somebody else read it. But that's what we'll do.
Don't
Okay.
ask me to translate.
No. Is that all? All good?
Just a quick side note. I was at a training in Fort Myers for basic crime prevention. And in the training, they were asking about videos, like the different departments, because there were departments there from all of Florida. A lady from from Tel Aviv, you know, so like international, people from other states. And I told them, yeah, let's watch look at the video that was made for the town of Miami-Dade, and it was the special needs video. Everybody obviously, you know, very professional, they're great. Miami Gardens came up to me and gave me their card because they were there from Miami Gardens. So we're gonna meet up to give them the plan of what we have here. So they're gonna call on their convenience, but they said they want to do the same thing. So Miami Gardens is looks like they're gonna be implementing it eventually.
We definitely need to keep an eye on Fort Myers. I didn't even know that they were doing all these autism things. I mean, I don't know why it was like, it's not been, these people keep texting me. I don't know why they haven't really announced as much as they were doing, but yesterday at the school, we had Mayor Bovo come over and they donated 300 cent kits for children with autism from the city of Fort Myers. The city donated it to Hialeah. So if they, and I don't know if it's part of the same program that you're talking about, I think it was. I didn't even know it was happening. It was fascinating, but yeah, the whole school, they got 300 cent kits, and I think the town itself of Hialeah, or the city of Hialeah, they're gonna buy a whole bunch more. They're about $3 a box.
I'm sorry, excuse my ignorance, but what is that?
I was about to ask, so it's okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm still learning what it is. A scent kit is this, you have the ability to take like your scent, you know, a child's scent,
wow,
and
for,
that and
like,
the DNA
dogs?
swab goes in the box, and you put it in your freezer, and it will stay for 5 years. And anytime if the child goes missing, you take the box out, hand it to police, and they instantly have the scent, and they can send the dogs out to find it.
Oh my God, wow.
So
Wow.
they donated all that. So if, you know, Fort Myers is doing some stuff. I'm going to look into what they're doing, seeing what we can talk to them about, because maybe they can help us with that. Because I would like to see something like that here too as well. I didn't even know we had that option. So you brought up Fort Myers, it triggered my memory. That's so. There's a lot of things going on. So thank you. Appreciate it. No, that's it, right?
I have something for the registry.
Go ahead.
I've had a couple of parents hesitant about signing their children up because of privacy. So I wanted to ask Clarissa, can anybody request a list of the people who are on the registry? And it has to be handed out to them?
I don't know, that's a question for MDPD. We don't have the records on our files.
That's what I understood.
Yeah, because
with the
everything's
final-
handled through them, through their office.
Yeah, if they do a public request through the town, there's nothing.
But we don't have anything. We don't have any documentation.
So I
It would
don't
have to
know
be a
where
public
they're
request
getting,
through,
where these parents
So you have as a
are
minor?
getting
Those are all
this
minors.
right?
information.
Yeah, well, some are. It would be through, through MDPD, with some redactions, but legal really is the one that can say, because I know that it was formulated with our legal here in the
Mhm.
town. So they're the ones that can really say exactly what type of information is come out. We haven't had it yet, so like on the police side. And then the question was, okay, if we have it, then we have to figure out what can be redacted and what not. But some information has to come up because it is public. So some information does come up.
If
Will come
somebody
out. The thing is
requests it,
through the police department, yeah.
Yeah,
The only
for
thing is,
information.
because it's a
public
file
record.
and right, everything's public.
Yeah,
So,
Freedom
like-
of Information Act.
Like if you have a report that you write and then you come and you say, I want that report that he wrote, that you can have it because it's public. But then there's some things in there, like if there's a sexual crime or there's a homicide in play, then some information is redacted, but the report is given to whoever asked for it. So I think in the redactions, we have to see what types of things are redacted. That's why in the application, it does say that per the statute number that's there, that some of it is public.
But is it public if it's a report that's written or the actual list?
The thing is that everything that is recorded somewhere is at some point can be asked for. It's public information.
So could someone come to the Miami-Dade Police Department and say, I would like to request a list of all the people that are on the special needs list in Miami Lakes?
They can, but I don't know to what extent or
With or without reserve.
So
what we will give them. I don't know. Because we haven't had it yet and it is legal. I don't, a part of legal.
Yeah.
I don't know how far it would go.
I mean, I've never heard of, in the years of doing the news reporting I've done, I've never heard of a department being able to give out lists like that. Usually they give information on specific cases or specific groups that are involved in a case. But when
With
it comes to,
redactions, a
with
lot of
redactions,
redactions.
right? When it comes to something like this would have to take a lot longer than a regular request because it's involving people's lives that are not.
And minors.
And the department, and I can speak because it's something that we follow, they're not going to create a document to fulfill a public records request. They're not gonna take 30 applications for the special needs registry and enter them into an Excel spreadsheet to provide a public records request. They're not gonna create a public record when one does not exist. So unless, it had that public record request needs to be very specific as to
Yeah.
what.
They have to specifically ask for the name of the person that's on there. So that would be the only thing. And then at that particular point, all you're gonna get is, the person that would be going after that would be looking for the same information they already have. Like, it'd be like me saying, well, I wanna see if my son's on the list. Well, yeah, he's on the list. I put him on there, So I don't think that you can get much out of that request because it's not, like she said, it's not an Excel list. It's individual applications. So you have to request each individual application. You have to know the names of the people under the requesting. And then you can't just walk into the sheriff's office to do that.
Yeah, because it's not a case number. It's not like a case number. You can say, okay, I want the report for this case
Right.
number, which is what she was asking.
I just want to know what to tell. I've had a few parents that are hesitant, like, I always try to tell them, to me, my child's safety, overrides their privacy. My son's not gonna, who looks at his name, or what, I don't care. I just want him to be safe, that's what's important here. But, some people are a little paranoid.
It's kind of complicated, but I would guess the best thing to tell them is to say that, well, one, it's handled by the Miami-Dade Police Department, not the town. So everyone, it's already under a law's jurisdiction. So a request for public record from them has a lot more involved than a request for the town. When I just walk into the office and say, I want to see what the latest vote was in town council, that's different than asking for a specific name from the police department. So that it's a lot more secure than they probably realize.
And public record, my son showed me a website and I put my maiden last name and all my information was there. So you know what, believe me when I tell you, just knowing the name, everything's there. My husband came out, my dad's name came out, I'm like, I'm telling you. So
There's lists of people related
just
to
put
you.
a name and so, I understand, that there's, maybe they have the questions, but in reality, everything is pretty much out there already. It really is,
Yeah, I would tell
And
them.
like
Do
you
you
said-
have Facebook? You should be worried more on that.
Yeah, I would tell them.
What about
there's
your child's being.
Yeah, because already the school that they go to, pretty much everything is already there.
And the
So
sunshine
That's the big
request,
point.
and the sunshine request does not take 5 days. You've got to put it, the request has to go to doesn't it have to go to the state first before it comes to you guys?
For us, it's our headquarters in Doral.
Okay,
You
so
have to
you
go
you can go
and
directly.
it's all very specific. Because what exactly do you want? You're gonna get exactly, it doesn't broad and we don't.
That's interesting. In Missouri, it's different. You have to apply, you have to request from the Attorney General of the state for the county that you're requesting. So that goes to the Attorney General of the state first before it even gets to you guys.
And you would always
Florida.
think because of HIPAA, there's gonna be information that's on that's not gonna be publicized because it's against HIPAA. So I think really maybe the only thing would be that the person lives in Miami Lakes, which pretty much everyone's,
Everybody already knows. that,
very
yeah.
broad information,
It's true, because if you go online, social media, and most people put all their stuff, and when they go on vacation, and what they ate last night. So, you're gonna get more by, let me go on Facebook than trying to get a public record request from the. from us.
All right, very good. Thank you so much for the update. Next thing we have on the list is flyers. I'll be really quick about this one, and that is that we had that flyer there. Has everyone had a chance to see that? Did you send it to all of us in the email, or is it just me?
No, I think just you to confirm that that was the one that we were referring to.
Vivian, is that?
And
the
one-sided like that, one-sided little.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the one.
Didn't
that we
you have
the-
some
I have some in the
suggestions?
car, the 8.5 by 11 version.
That's the 8.5 by 11.
Didn't you have some suggestion last time? You had a card and you said maybe something better
Yeah,
like this?
like this one that they had from the Gigi's,
I
I
tell
like
you what,
this a lot. And
That's
it's,
what-
and it's
can
very
you scan
colorful
that?
and.
Can you scan that and give some input as to what you think needs to be on that card and send it to Claricel and me? So that we can create a 4x6 version of it or a 5x7 version of it, because that's got a lot of information in it. And those, like, in the text, it's not gonna fit that. People aren't gonna be able to read it.
Right, and I like,
It needs to be to the point.
I like this, like, how to register and then like number one, go on,
Yeah,
you have this side or whatever.
I remember you saying that,
Number two,
how to
Yeah, he
register,
do this,
why
number three.
register here, go here, go here, go to this.
Mhm.
And you, did we want the QR code on there too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so they can
That's
scan
video,
it.
right?
And then that would be the video. That would be perfect. for us.
So in
The
other
side
words,
and the
Officer
video.
Amador, can you come up with your own?
I don't think that should be his job. That should be. our
Well, here's the thing. He's the one talking to all the individuals, so he knows what they ask. He knows what they say. If you want to write it, if you want to just email it to me, I'm fine with that. We can go from there. But I know,
Bullet
you
points.
know, yeah, bullet
What-
points of
yeah.
what they've said and what's been like a queasy look or an excellent look.
Of what
Because-
you think should be on.
Should be
it,
on the card,
Front
because
and
then
back.
we can create it from there.
Do they ask you more if it's in Spanish or?
Very, very little in Spanish, actually. Mostly,
So
mostly
no
in
need to
English.
have it in both languages.
But in both would help. Both would help.
We'll start with the English one, then we'll get the Spanish one.
I've had
We're
a
gonna
lot of-
change to translate everything.
I've had a lot of people from Hialeah in Spanish, and then I gotta refer them back to Hialeah, so. Yeah, so.
Yeah, because this is the one we actually got printed, right? How many of these did we get printed?
I'm not sure, but I have some in my car.
Oh, one big thing I just.
From the resource there.
That you remind me of. A lot of people think also because their address says Hialeah on it, that they're not accepting of it, they can't write, they're not looking for it. So what happens is, it's, forget about that, where do you live? What's your physical address? Because half of the address is seriously Hialeah.
Yep.
Yes,
But it's that map right there that gives you the actual border of the town. So that's a big one.
because even the zip code, you have 33014 in Miami Lakes and you have it in Hialeah too.
And
So
me too.
it gets very confusing.
33016.
I really wish Mayor Sid would have gotten that zip code thing passed. That would have been nice. Okay, all right, we'll deal more with the flyers. We can talk between emails with Claricel on the flyers moving forward. I want to make sure we get to the rest of this, as we only have like 45 minutes left. Is that good? All right, let's start with events and discussions. So the first person on here is Sensei Francisco. You want to introduce him and kind of get him going?
Yes, I was actually gonna ask that, so thank you. I actually met Sensei Francisco at the Arts for Autism event that we had. He came over to speak to us and he showed me some videos, pictures. I mean, he's been doing this for a while and he actually has one of the people I say kid, he's already, I don't know how old he is, Andres,
Thank you.
Daisy's son. How old is he? Okay, so he's already an adult, but he's
Yeah,
actually.
that's one of the issues,
He's been with him for a few years already, so he's been working with kids and even adults with special needs, and I would like to present Sensei Francisco.
Welcome.
Welcome.
It's my pleasure to be here and thank you for the invitation. Patience pays. I've been reaching out to the city, the town of Miami Lakes for 3 years because, believe me, I believe in this passionately. The reason that I do this is I'm an economist, but I've been doing martial arts before I began college. So basically, throughout my lifetime, martial arts have been a North Star of equanimity in character, morality, and being able to philosophically on the right side of decision making. I've been in banking, insurance, investment banking, aerospace, different industries. And throughout each one of them, the one balancing act always was provided by martial arts under many, many different stresses, pressures, performance pressure, all these things that jobs with high stress provide. One of the questions that I do ask all my Tai Chi students, for example, is how do you manage your stress? Stress is everywhere. Just ask the officer. Everywhere. But imagine you also don't know the language in the world you live in. I deal with people with autism and any special needs, particularly because the students that I've taught over a lifetime for martial arts don't really appreciate the gift of being able to be in control of the vehicle that is your body, your mind, your spirit, your physical body. You can, and pardon this, exert physical pressure in the world, hurting somebody. When somebody like Andres turns 18, the parents' biggest fear is that he's a legal adult. He can make decisions and they can't do anything about it. That's the biggest fear. My goal with him and people like him is give them control, internal control, self-regulation. One of the biggest injustices in the world we live in is like 15% of the people that you see have a special need of some sort. 15%. There's 3 million people in Miami-Dade County. Do the math. It's scary. And there's no town with enough services to really meet that demand for your constituents to have quality of life. My goal is only not to teach them how to fight, that's only a tool, but rather through the mechanics, the structure of martial arts, whether it be karate or tai chi or whichever style we practice, in that purpose is to give them a vehicle for self-regulation that does not expire. I've not met the first person that can prove to me that a special condition expires. However, therapists, parents, money, it all runs out or expires. You're only left with yourself. If you're then left with yourself and have no tools for self-regulation, the world expects a reaction because you will not be able to run around enough in your mind, an autistic mind, which are brilliant. Imagine how dangerously brilliant a brilliant person can be, also without the ability to regulate and morally participate. We're talking about community, we're talking about family, we're talking about, for example, grandparents. They don't see their grandchildren because they're too big, too dangerous, too whatever. I'll share this very small anecdote. I've been 3 tournaments ago. I invite all my students to go to these tournaments. And I'm friends and we're associated with this organization called the Alliance, Florida Alliance of Karate Associations. And it's many, many of the very good karate schools in South Florida. If you ever heard of our Olympian, Ariel Torres, he comes from that group. I know him since he was a kid. My friend is the sensei that started him in this whole path and actually trains him and got him to the Olympics. Those kids are competitors, but in that environment, they participate in tremendous tournaments, about 6 a year. They allow me to bring my participants and stop the tournament and allow me to take a stage and present what we do. I invite you to, when you visit, check out our YouTube channel. We have all the events that we go to, we put something, because we're not doing it for commercials or anything, but we want people to be aware. That's one of the biggest challenges that I have. Make people aware that there are things for them to do to have quality of life. So check it out. We're going to this event and I invite them. And one parent tells, you know, I can't because my other son has this other event and the conflict the same day. I'm sorry, I can't be there. Don't worry, but we'll send him to the therapist. They'll get along great, don't worry. Okay, 6 of us go to this, or 5 of us go to the event. Me, 6 of us, me and 5 of us, I get excited. And when we go there, everything stops. And when we go to the floor, as soon as we go to the floor, we hear a scream. Ricky! The mom was in despair. It was the same event. They did not take the time to read the flyer because the son without autism had a karate competition. The son with autism had an event. Something with a therapist. It was the same event. I cannot explain the frustration that I get when I see that injustice every day. And you see it too. Because we do it out of ignorance, we do it because we don't know enough. We don't educate parents. Like when we have kids, there's not a booklet. When you have an autistic kid, there's no encyclopedia big enough. So if we don't provide them a structure to support parents who will run out of ability to really figure out how to provide quality of life. But this is what all this is about. Bienestar, quality of life, wellness. That's what we're called like this. Dojo of exceptional wellness. Educators who interact with these individuals are exceptional student educators. That's what we name ourselves that way. We're a dojo, because a dojo is what we teach. And wellness, that's what we hope to provide. Plain and simple. And wellness is whole, not just that speed runs out. Arthritis gets you. I teach Tai Chi, and Margarita and Analia is one of my 96-year-old students who never misses a class. And she moves, she's happy. And she actually comes to every class, doesn't miss one. Because it is about that, wellness. Whether you do, whatever job you do, you gotta be able to go home and go, not bad, I'm here at home, I did. Well, tomorrow's another day, we'll check it out. But right now, I'm okay, my family is okay, you're at peace, and that is priceless. But sometimes we don't take the time to individually provide yourself that internal check. It's called introspection. But it's taboo to look at yourself, but guess what? We're about to implode as a society unless we help ourselves out. You've seen it everywhere, mental health, mental health, mental health. Well, guess what? They're catching up. You've been living it with your constituents. I've been living it with my students. I've been living it with the society that I've seen over 20, 30 years. I've seen, don't do that to the kids. We don't, by the way, we're a no contact program. They never, ever hit each other. They only hit me because you need contact in karate. You cannot have karate without contact, but they never, ever, ever contact each other. They only hit me or a bag because they need to figure out, and guess what? Being able to go hit me in the head. My goal is to bring these 30 degrees into correction. That is not for him to hit, but for his accelerometer to be corrected. We're aiming to really achieve neuroplasty. We worked, no, we didn't work really. We presented our project 4 years ago to Dr. Alessandri at the University of Miami's CARD. And the 5 minutes that I was expecting turned into 45 minutes. Because as you are now, he gave me that kind of attention and I was impressed. Now I have data. I've collected and I've recorded every class. And I collect data in 3 aspects. We focus on their ability to do the following 3 metrics: duration, transition, and frequency. Psychologists that work with us, because we're based on ABA best practices, and we only work at ADA sanctioned locations. That's why I don't have a dojo. My dojo is the public spaces that you are stewards of, that are ADA compliant for your citizens. And it's just turning it around to provide it as a service to your population. And we just come and by the hour provide a service. I try to never charge individual people, but rather work with the municipalities, because then it just becomes an hourly rate. It's so simple. There's no collections and education, a conundrum of every single, any provider of intellectual property. How much you charge? I'm not aiming for the money. I write grants. I just simply have to imagine you have to account for the interaction with the provider at some price. We do an hourly rate. It becomes insignificant to a city, but to an individual, it's complicated because they don't care to be millionaires. They're autistic. They got Down syndrome. That's a daily challenge. Not, do I have the budget to pay for all these supporting things that my life requires? We hope not to be a burden, but to be an asset. And by working with other municipalities already, I work with Hialeah in 2 programs. I work with their Step Ahead program, their SPP program, and through the ECS department, we also have Tai Chi programs at 2 other adult centers. I was also engaged by Cano Health We right now operate Tai Chi classes at 7 of their adult centers. And I work with the city of Doral, where I operate an open program at the Doral Legacy Park. And that's a perfect example of what we're trying to do. They had this thing of the bond and the money and the build the parks. But guess what? How do you turn an asset into a moneymaker? And not a moneymaker to make money. This is a cost center. You're a city. You're not a corporation. Essentially, remember, I'm an economist. You're supposed to provide a service, and that's the return on your investment. And the service has to be providers. That has to be a lightweight for your burden of cost. That way, the city and the quality of life in your city rises. Everybody's so happy, they're just figuring out how to make more money to provide and pay you taxes. Do more businesses.
And you've worked with, because I know you were telling me you've also worked with kids with other exceptionalities as
Oh, no,
well.
absolutely. Down syndrome, autism of different ranges of different kinds of obviously, but we are in the spectrum. So every personality is so different. Some are nonverbal. So it's a grunt, you have to read. It's a body language situation. I train myself in programs that psychologists recommended to be able to understand the population, to be able to work with them properly. I have a curriculum for anyone that I train to certify in teaching martial arts to do it this way, not to just go, anybody screams at any one of my participants, and I have them out the door quicker than you can probably put them in cuffs. So the idea is how we teach it, how we provide an outlet for them to get their frustrations. Because remember, their world is inside their minds. We're asking them to please share a moment with us. Our world is noisy, smelly, bright. Why would they want to be here? Well, if it's fun, if it's suddenly give them better posture or does some better breathing, their health is better, they don't get so sick because, I mean, these are little things where you're correcting mechanical things of how your body is built through martial arts. And over time, they stay, and that's how they do, and that's how they live, and they are better for it. So I'm open to any questions.
All right.
Oh, and by the way, we're a 501c3, so we're totally transparent. I was a treasurer, so I'm very good with compliance, and we're currently up to date with the state and the IRS and everything else.
Guys, this sounds a lot like what we've done with Arts for Autism. Vivian, I know you started that before I even got on the board, and the program that they're doing in our town is not only really well received by the town, but it's being looked at by other towns. So I know that what we're doing is working there. Let's open the floor for discussion. Any questions for the sensei?
So what are the disciplines you guys focus on? Tai Chi and karate only?
Essentially, yes. We do for kids with autism the structure of traditional Okinawan martial arts, and my style is Matsubayashi Karate. Gives a perfect example of just the posture. Some styles are very low, Japanese styles are very open and low. I've done also Shotokan Karate, and it just doesn't apply. Okinawan Karate is, I guess, more natural. You stand up normal, and you cannot ask people to be so athletic. So this is a more natural approach. And Tai Chi, anyone after 30, we still dream to be that guy on the TV, but we're not. So after 30,
You're kidding me, right?
so we need to find, really, believe me, I have, if I can go through the list real quick, arthritis, both knees operated, 4 screws in a metal plate through a vertebral fusion, and a broken ankle in college from playing soccer. That's inevitable. That's wear and tear of anybody's life. I mean, if you move and you react to the world you live in, it happens. But how about if you're able to do it in control? And if it happened, it was because intentional. It didn't happen because I fell or because I bumped into the corner of a table. Proper travel or displacement. These are physical words. Displacement through the world you live in is important. Tai Chi is a wonderful low or high impact. Because all you have to do is just open your stance to make it harder. But our participant, like I said, 96 years old. I get home every time I go to class and she's there. I'm like, I do my best because she's here. So,
So have you seen that has the best results on kids with special needs?
We do have an age range, anyone from 9 to 99. I started at 9 only because I started at 7 a few years back, but then I realized as a psychologist told me that sometimes it's not as clear until the personality really sets in. Sometimes it works that they're just setting themselves into the personality. It's not a psychological disorder yet, even though they might be diagnosed, but it might just sort itself out. But by 9 years old, it is where it is. So I start then at 29 because if you're 100, so relax. I mean, it's 100. Yes,
Do you have other staff that works with you or, you know?
not at the moment. And that's one of the things I'm arduously working on, which is a big project that I'm working with a company for sustainable fundraising. The treasurer, one of the things that I find in nonprofits is figuring out what the availability is of funding. It's not always clear who's available when, and sometimes they change, and sometimes they don't change. They're available, it's easy, sometimes they're available, not that easy. I used to buy treasury notes and treasury bonds. You want money, it's there at that time, anytime. Here is a very unpredictable landscape, and that provides really a hard choice to engage anybody and say, when I work, I don't have the heart to hire somebody and then have to fire them 6 months later because I don't have the funding. I can do all the jobs so far, but I have a budget already. I have a business plan that drives up to 5 employees only, and then everybody else is a 1099. So even in my most biggest expression is a 5-person company, and everything else is cutting certifications and teaching other people to do the same thing and really certifying that. But we run the program by filling up the days of the week until the hours are done. Then I need to multiply myself. I have plenty of hours left.
And do you have like a particular ratio that you work with, like maybe 5 kids per, you're the teacher, right? Per teacher?
Oh,
or
personally?
Do you have a limit or?
Well, it
minimum?
works the way I have videos about this. I'm not a psychologist, I'm a martial artist. And because of that, I always work, for example, in the programs in Hialeah or Doral. In Doral, because it's open, the families bring either the parent that sits outside the dojo or the therapist who sits outside the dojo. And in the case of Hialeah, they provide a ratio of 1:6 or 1:8, and they provide an ESC teacher who sits at the class. So they manage any condition outburst, because I don't know how to properly manage it. I don't want to mismanage it. That'll be a big mistake to set us back who knows how long. So if anything happens, and for example, it has happened before, where one kid is doing something, he just literally just turns around and starts walking away. And you can't call attention to it. No, absolutely. And let me explain what happened.
Squirrel.
No, it happens often. And what happens is the way we handle this, I look at the teacher and he triggers him. He goes, manages the condition, takes him outside the boundaries of everybody. Everybody keeps focusing on me. And that is one of the transition metrics. And the metrics, just to finish real quick, are 3 so important. Duration, we meditate before and after class. Duration is how long can they meditate? And we found that after they meditate about 1.5 minutes consistently, their behavior is different. Their ability to be patient, to not interrupt when they want something, to not reach through, it's different. They become a different individual. And you meditate for 1.5 hours, and you another hour. You meditate for 1.5 minutes.
That would change with something like that.
And then there's also frequency. We do karate. Karate has kata. We don't do kumite again, except with me. But the main focus is kata. And you do a kata. Kata, because you don't know, is a form and a choreography. And you have to imagine an invisible person in front of you or around you. So that gives you spatial awareness. Where am I walking? How am I walking? Am I here, left, right, left, up, down, all the angles? Because it can come from anywhere. Andres, I never thought anybody would do more than 1 or 2 katas. Andres knows 7 katas. Wow. I mean, some kids in a school don't know 7 katas. Andres can follow me and do 7 katas. This is an amazing feat that he does. And I think it's just amazing that he does that. But by being able to do that, that's frequency. How is your percentage of 10 out of 10? So you're 100%. And then transition. Can you remain engaged? Because one of the biggest problems for this population is oh, that is big, so big. So if they remain focused on me doing the class, remaining the activities, they're engaged. And I have, everybody's above 80 to 100 because we have fun. They never get hit. They hit the teacher. And it's their ability to express themselves. They never do anything wrong. I never raise my voice. The idea is for them to feel safe. And with that, I hope that answers the question.
I tell you what, build me a picture here. If we were to work with you to build, to start a program in the town, what does that look like? You need a
Location.
facilities, you know, you need us to provide you an ESE teacher so you can have that space without having to worry if the parents send a therapist or not. Talk me through how we would put this together.
I have a video. The way we know, it's just a very small screen, but all these videos are put up to how we structure our class. Essentially, it is exactly that. It's a location. It's an ADA compliant location, which you own. And all the citizens pay taxes to maintain. I hope. And now, after that is said, and it's a safe location that we can train, we simply invite everybody, and yes, if we have access to population who are ESE teachers, they can be paid an hourly as a 1099, provide a service or volunteer even, which is a wonderful thing to do. And they provide that. Remember, you don't have to look at how much it costs or what's the function. Can somebody provide as a volunteer? I've achieved incredible things with volunteers. The passion that people have to help you can drive people to do incredible things. And if they're involved in a project that really improves the quality of life, if you're not talking about, we want a medal, they get medals. Oh, by the way, when we go to a tournament, they get the actual gold medal of that tournament. They don't get a rinky-dinky puppy medal, they get the actual medal from the tournament. And I give them the certificate and everything else. So they have a tangible experience that they go and they can't have. John, one of the other kids, still this Tuesday was like, he wanted to see the video over and over and over and over again. That video that I showed you, the 1 minute commercial that I did for them. And it's that kind of excitement in their life that the parents can't get enough of. And they're just like, and you're like,
How many days a week would you want to do that? Is it
at least once a week, because the idea more than that, I cannot see how people can adjust their routines more than that.
So once a week, is it once a week for the whole year, or is it monthly, or?
I try not to close because, like I said, there are conditions to go on vacation. I open all summer, I open all winter, I open all, and unless I'm traveling for some like continuing education or something that is like Thanksgiving, that you close the facility for legal reasons. If I have the manpower and I'm healthy, I don't see myself justifying not being there for them because they cannot take a vacation. To me, understand that that is so key. And the city of Doral asked me the same questions, like they closed the park one day and then you let me say, no, if your park is open, I'm giving a class because they know I'm here. They depend on that routine. Autistic kids, I start at 7. If I don't start at 7, this is, oh my God. Andres was here and they line up. And I was talking to Andres' mom. And he was going like this. Log off. Like indirectly, log off. Log off. I'm like, and then I heard it. Oh, sorry, I gotta go back. You were so in tune with the time that he knew it was like 7:02, 7:03, and tick, 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 tick. He was like, hey. But he didn't say, please stop talking, start the class. Log off. And so in that language that we eventually really connect, and in that situation, you give them some of the trust. So let me share with Officer Amador this. I created a video that's something, a concept that I worked really hard to develop. It's called the circle of consequence. The population that has special needs, and you've seen the incidents, I don't want to go into detail, but they are exposed to such violence and sometimes misidentified and suffer incredibly. However, they should not fear police, they should not fear authority. I created a circle of influence to say this: bullies exist, you cannot avoid them, they will be around. When the incident happens, whatever it is the incident happens, we need to teach them how to identify the bully. I work with a police to teach me how to teach them how to identify. It told me from the bottom up. Tell them to look at the shoe, socks, pants, and up all the way to the hat, hair, face. And then share that with a teacher, an adult, a parent, and an officer. Because guess what? And please correct me if I'm wrong. All the people with special needs are a protected class legally. And anything that you do to them is bumped up immediately to a felony or a very high level of penalty that every law enforcement officer will react to a call. Special need autistic individual assaulted at the corner, blah, 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 blah. What will you do? And immediately, if you are able to identify that person, you will collect that individual, take them to a judge. That judge will throw what you look at. That consequence needs to be known. And we created a circular consequence, which is the case. Yes, identify, share, report, collect, present, consequence. There is a result for you to understand that even though this bad thing happened to you, speak about it. Share it with somebody you trust. That is so key because silence is killing them. And it's killing all of us because sometimes we don't say what we've seen. We don't know how. But if we understand their responsibility to protect us and ourselves to protect ourselves, it's all about communication. And we teach them how to communicate constructively. I'm not saying, no, blue shoes, red socks, blue pants, leather, things that are simple, but identify and build a picture. And with those, I'll pivot to the last thing.
I don't
Paint your
mean to
final
cut
picture.
you off. It's just our meeting is done at 7.
30 seconds. No, to paint your picture, because you asked me for a picture, and I'm sorry, I diverted. So yes, location, ESC teachers, which we paid, tend to have rates of how the labor is, martial arts instructor, and that's it. Because everything else is ADA compliant by definition. The location is by definition. The people come and the ESC provides the safety.
Instead of an ESC teacher, would a
RBT,
certified behavior therapist?
yes,
would also
RBT or
be-
ABA, yes. We have actually an ABA on board that reviews all our films, and he provides quarterly reports to me to figure out how, if a kid is, I said, do something that he doesn't handle that, so we do more of this. So it teaches me how to teach them better. I'm trying to continue to improve. How do we provide them a vehicle for them to express?
That's good.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. So guys, I think we have a lot to think about on that particular program. We're gonna, if we want to do it, it's gonna be one of the ones where we're gonna need a business plan to present to the town. So we can help,
I got one.
we can help you with that to kind of curve it into the Miami Lakes format. Go ahead.
No,
Okay. And I would see that if we want this to work right, we should probably invest in getting an RBT, one to start with, to be at the program so that we can have up to 5 kids maybe in the first session and see where it goes. I mean, Arts for Autism started with just a few kids and only what Audrey was doing. Now we have 3 sessions. So
I run an AV business, so I can probably assist in that too.
that's fine. That's fine.
And I'm an RBT myself, so
You
if
wanna-
I'm able to,
You want
I
to
can go.
volunteer?
I am an RBT, so
Ah,
if the times work, I can volunteer too.
The idea would be that we could come up with a plan of how we would do that, and get it started in one of the facilities and see where it goes from there.
Just want to say 2 things. One is I like it a lot because it's very holistic, right? And 2 is a lot of times people in martial arts that aren't in martial arts, I'm sorry, do not understand that martial arts is taught to not, you fight to not fight. And that's a big key in this because you might think, oh, the parents might think, oh my God, this is violent. No, it's the complete opposite. And I think that's that.
That's a big point.
It's definitely a program we should have. I would agree.
But when I'm sorry to cut you off, when we went to the SFAX walk and also at the autism event, the Arts for Autism event, in both events, they asked me about martial arts. They're like, oh, do you provide anything like that in the town? And I'm like, that it's not the first time we hear it, definitely. And that's why when I met him, I'm like, okay, you need to come to one of our meetings. And he had actually come before, but that meeting ended up being canceled. So, I mean, definitely, I'm excited. I think this this is amazing, and parents have been asking for it. So I think this is not just something like, oh, this sounds, and like he was, he explained it, and I agree with what Officer.
Well,
That
that's what we're
shows
doing,
that
and-
it's definitely,
I mean, Tai Chi, we
I don't know
do
if we can see
have
this
Tai Chi,
also.
so I don't know, because, we can't, like, I don't know.
Let me show you this last thing. This is last Saturday, and these are the best. You've seen it. Just 1 minute.
Can you see it? Glenn? If you want, turn it a bit back.
Keep in mind, there's about 400, 500 people in the bleachers looking at them, making noise. Put a price on that smile.
So you did the Arts for Autism program. What do we need to do? Do we need to vote on something? Do we need to start the process somehow? Well, because this is the first event that I'm putting on here, so I don't know where to go. I'm
Well,
asking.
I know Miss Audrey had to prepare her presentation, and then we had to take it to the council and make a presentation. But, Miss Audrey pretty much did it all. I mean, it's her program, so, I'm sure he already has some type of presentation that we could show the council, and that's pretty much it.
And in our case with
And
this,
then he will have to get with Parks and Rec and do their own contract and all of that.
That should go before the council presentation.
so we
Okay, I'll
Parks
share
and
with
Rec
you
first.
my business plan with other cities. It's very simple. They create some sort of either memorandum of understanding with the scope of services. It's a simple dates, place, rate, schedule, and that's it. And
So do
essentially
we
whatever
take
you
that
want
and
to
forward it
do.
to you? Or how do we do this?
Usually have standard government documents that have terms and conditions. that are
Yeah,
pretty
his
straightforward.
proposal specific to what he's presenting here
Mhm.
for our community and share it with the Parks Department. Let them review it, and then once they get we get the green light from them, then you all can present it to the council.
Okay. How can I assist? Is there something I can assist him with? Do I need to connect him to the Parks Department or?
No,
Can we
you
do
can
an
do it
introduction?
through me.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, we'll get you in front of the Parks Department and then you can present your business plan with them, let them approve it. And then we can come back and talk about what we can add to make it better for the town, and then we'll present it to the council. So that could take a few more weeks or a few more months before it gets started, but maybe by the end of the year.
Patience is a virtue, Udo is for life. So,
Thank you for your
thank you,
presentation.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, that is awesome. So there's a really big one that we're looking at right there. I'm happy to see that. So we have several things that are left in 10 minutes. So we didn't really get a chance to narrow down like some fun ideas, but maybe we can take some part of our next meeting to do that. There's one thing about the gala. I have the gala on here. Let's just get this one in and over with because it's not going to be very long. I talked with Joseph today. We're set for video productions on it. I worked with Donnie all week. We should have 2 videos. That we're paying him for. The 1.5 minute video of our work is going to be produced and shown at the event. And he's doing a little 30-second one free of charge, donating to the town for us to do the, hey, donate now or come see us at the event. So we're working on both of those. I think within a week or a little bit over a week, we should have both of them done. But otherwise, it was very good. And the guy basically, and I told him how I could do it. He was like, oh, well, you don't have to come to the studio or do anything. We just do it all right here. So we're gonna do it that way. So that's good. The other thing is Joseph wants to know if we could have 3 volunteers from our department to work at the gala. And this is what he needs. He wants someone to actually manage the iPad from our team. So we're making sure that the money's coming in. we're doing the conversations, we're having the conversations with people. And he's got an assistant that's gonna walk around with you guys, but he didn't want the assistant to be the one doing the work because he felt it was better if it was coming from us. And Alexandria, I had recommended that I thought would be good to have you do it because I think you could have a good conversation with all the people that are around, is that something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, I need to brush up on my public speaking skills, but.
Essentially, well, Francisco and I did it last year. So essentially what we did is we walked around to all the these little casino tables that they have set up. And we asked them, would you like to buy more casino chips?
Okay.
And if they said yes, we take the ad pack, get their information and tell them where to go get their chips. If they said no, we say, okay, well, we also have a donate option on here, which is like to throw some money towards the special needs board.
Okay.
And then if they said yes, then we would take their information, do a donation right then and there. And what your assistant would be doing is writing down, okay, this was a chip, this was a donate, here's how much it was, and here's the name. So that when we give it to Claricel at the end of the night, she'll be able to know exactly who it was. Because when we did it last year, it was all numbers and no information on who did it. So it was kind of stressful for them to figure out what actually was donation, what actually was chip buying, et cetera. So
Okay.
was that, you cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then Alexandria will handle the iPad. Joseph says he will get together with us to do a training session on it, so you can see
Okay.
how it functions before we do it.
Okay.
The other thing we need is someone who would like to voluntarily stand at the front and be the photo taking people. So remember how last year we had the one girl and the one guy who were dressed up in 80s, 90s attire? So we need someone to dress up like a gangster and someone to dress up like a flapper girl and stand at the front. They don't want to hire someone this year because instead of hiring it, we pay all that money for those people to stand there. Why not let us be one of the ones? Does anyone here have an interest in wanting to do that?
I have no problem.
Okay, that's what I figured. Well, I'm gonna be dressed as a gangster, but I'm gonna be on the microphone the entire time, so I can't necessarily do that. Let me just let Joseph know that either he should find somebody from the town that can volunteer or hire the people or just skip it. Would you like to do it? There, we got our first volunteer.
I have a fedora, wait, just to listen to the
All
conversation.
right, all right. So now we just need to find a lady that would go alongside. Are you serious?
Yeah, do it,
Okay.
absolutely. That'd be fun.
I will tell Joseph about it.
But we have someone that's gonna take the picture.
We have, yeah, he is his photographer.
Oh, okay.
It's just,
It's just the.
we don't have,
Stand in.
The props.
Okay.
we don't have anyone to stand up front. That's the only thing, because it was like, I forgot what he said, but he said there was some cost involved last year to have those two people stand up front.
Yeah, you gotta hire them.
It was, yeah, it was very expensive because they were like impersonators, so Michael Jackson and Madonna.
Yeah, which we don't need that. We just need someone to dress up like they're having fun. Which Ray will do a great job. He'll be like, hey.
You have an extra Tommy gun?
How long? I would think it would only be the first hour or two of the event, and then you just go and enjoy the event, because you're waiting for all the people to come in.
Yeah, it's like while they're getting there.
In the beginning, right?
It's in the
Like,
beginning,
it's
right?
in the beginning, like,
It's the
Right.
first hour.
So it's okay, first hour. So the first hour.
Yeah, if
So
people
as
get there
people
late,
come in.
they can take a picture of them.
And it's, and the time and press.
That's the only thing. Now,
That's-
I will tell you this.
I'm Googling.
I went to Goodwill over in Hialeah, the one on 16th,
Yeah.
and they have a ton of them. They don't have anything with the guys. They have a ton of like roaring 20s attire, all on display. I walked in, I'm like, what are they, like, listening to what we're doing? But they have a ton of them, so I mean, that's what everybody is saying, is go check out Goodwill. There's good deals there.
Which Goodwill?
The one on 16th,
It's on Saturday, right?
it's Saturday. It's the past Westland Mall. Heading towards the airport.
Okay, 16 and 44.
But you know where, okay, you know
16
where,
and 44.
49.
There's a Navarro.
Yes,
I live in that
4410
corner.
West 16th Avenue.
Where is it?
I know exactly where it
4410.
is.
West 16th Avenue.
I said it, 44. I live right at that building,
so who's wanting to,
You can put a question mark myself,
okay,
but I have to check because I'm usually on the weekend in home, so I just have to look my schedule that I'm not at home.
Joseph recommended,
And taking a picture.
he recommended that we be there.
That would be so really.
September 24th.
Yeah, 24th, and it would be from 6:30 to 7:30-ish, 8. And you could just enjoy the event, or you could leave, doesn't matter, but that's the time that everyone's coming in. 6:30 is VIP, 7 is grand opening for everybody else. So, okay, that takes care of that. Perfect. All right, Vivian, look this over for me, will you? Is there anything on here that we've already approved that you wanted to like start the programs on? Or did you?
I just have a couple of updates, like with the training, with vocational rehab.
Okay,
I sent them the 3 dates that the town sent us, but they haven't replied yet which one works for
so
them.
we're still waiting.
The animation class, they're working on their business proposal to send us. She said they should have it ready by Monday.
Okay.
Anything else?
The
What about the webinar
webinar training.
The webinar training, is that like the workshops? Or,
Yeah.
because that sounds
yeah.
weird, webinar. I mean, to me, it sounds weird.
Yeah, that's when we used to do them online. because of
Uh-huh.
So stay in
COVID,
workshops. So
we
just
don't-
have it.
We can get rid of that because, we already have the vocational rehab one that we're working on.
Right.
Then another location.
And did you hear back from the lady from the Dade County yet?
I have that.
Okay, so we just need to follow up with her.
Not-
And the state ID mobile center was something we were working on too.
Yes, they got back to me. In order for us to book it, we need to have like at least 25 appointments. So. that's something.
Okay, so then we should,
Should we do maybe like a petition? And if we have 25. I don't know,
that's exactly what I was thinking, is that we could do a post on social media saying, the Special Needs Advisory Board would like to bring out the state ID mobile center for children with autism to get their IDs done. However, before we can do it, we have to have an approved 25 participants. You can register with Eventbrite and then we can
pre-register.
get
Right.
pre-registered. Then we
But
can.
I would
give
like to
them a date.
open it to like.
Or
the-
anyone.
of The community,
community.
also the elderly community, because I know they've had it before.
Mhm.
Okay,
And maybe we can get 25 so that we can have it, but I would like to
They
pair
want
the date.
maximum 25 or minimum 25?
Minimum,
Minimum.
in order for them to come out.
And do you know what the maximum? Okay. No, I'm saying it would be good because then like that we know where to cap it at.
Sorry, just I have teaching in VR, so. Yeah, thank you.
thanks, Clary.
So
But I would like to kind of pair it with a date that the town's having an event.
So
because
why
that
don't we?
also incentivizes people to come or.
What we could do is we could do the petition where it's saying we need to show interest before we can do it. Get all the people's information, and then once we've gotten over 25, we could then pick the town event that's coming up, put it to that date, and then call them and let them know, hey, we now have 25 interested participants, and just keep growing it from that point once the date's been added. Would that work?
Yeah, that makes
I can give you
No,
guys.
the only issue with that is if those 25 people that registered aren't able to go that day specifically.
Well, that's why we want to do more.
Or they can't go that day.
There's a lot of moving parts, but
Yeah.
I think partnering with the Elderly Affairs Committee, the
Yeah.
group, the veterans.
Can you email me the
Yeah.
details of the
Even public
ID?
safety.
Is it a state ID or?
Yeah, it's a state.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Issue that
that
you-
might even be something that like maybe we each can choose like a committee and maybe go to one of their meetings and present
Don't we
it
have the
so they can
quarterly
know.
meeting coming up? Can you just text me that? We have the quarterly meeting of all the people?
Yeah, that's gonna be pushed back a little bit because of the elections.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we need that date.
So
Well,
that's
that's
what
true,
we're
that would
doing.
have been a good.
That would have been a
Yeah.
good time to bring it up for elderly affairs, but I guess we could just reach out to, can we reach out to elderly affairs? Let them know that-
Can I give you guys tomorrow an event that there might be happening in October for Halloween? So that might be a possibility.
That's a night event though.
It's gonna go in the afternoon.
Our event?
No. It's an afternoon, it's an event that's being planned by local agency, organization. They wanna do it like a drive-through Halloween event. Bianca wants to do she wants to do a Halloween event. And I'm hoping her set it up. So that might be an option.
I know.
Yeah, so that's why I can confirm by tomorrow.
Put it on the agenda for next meeting for October, because we'll have it before Halloween, right? Yeah, okay. Yes. So then the state mobile ID thing, let's do a petition, but let's push it off to the next meeting, because we need to speak to elderly affairs. If you wouldn't mind letting them know that we're interested in talking about it, that would be great. Town activities, we're going to defer that to the next meeting, and we'll be able to talk a little bit more about that, including the event that you're bringing up, okay? Does anyone else, that should be it.
The bike rodeo is in the month of September, so.
The 24th.
Is it actually happening now?
Yeah. The
Oh, so it's the same day as the
It
gala.
says here the 17th.
No, the 17th.
So
The
what are-
17th.
The same day as the gala.
That's way too soon for us to buy a bike.
Yeah.
See, I've been saying all
we've
along.
been planning, let's do it for next one. Let's see.
Let's see, there's the culinary bike tour and then there's the bike rodeo.
Bike rodeo, you're absolutely right.
The culinary one is the 17th. At night, and it's a night,
At
it's a
Okay,
night.
so it's the bike rodeo that we were gonna get a bike
Yeah.
for. That's still not in the works, right? We still have no
But that's
answer.
gonna be, I think, too
24.
hectic because the
But
gala.
that's gonna be
day.
crazy.
So I don't
That
know
would
if
be
that's-
silly.
That'd be
yeah.
good.
Yeah, I think it's.
We'll have to do it next year. All right, that's it. We're good. Defer everything to the next meeting.
Announce one
One
quick
announcement from
announcement.
Vivian.
I was invited to the Full Gables Disability Board this morning, and I attended their meeting, which was super interesting. I'll talk about it more next time. But they're having a big event on October 22nd. It's like a resource fair at one of their parks, which has like this park has like all these features for special needs, so I can't wait to go and take a look at it. And it's maybe something we can incorporate in one of our parks. And they gave me these they're like reminders of the event
Thank you for sharing. Vivian.
that they printed. And it was really cool to see another board and what they talk about and what they're working on. So I'll let you guys know about it.
Oh, that's
Next
a QR code in the middle. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
that is
Oh my
great.
gosh, I didn't even notice.
Very good. All right, we need to close the meeting now, so I motion to end the meeting at 7:04.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes, meeting's over. There, I think we got done at 7:04.
Please, please, please. We want to start on time so we can end on time. We got a really full agenda.
You guys are.
Full agenda. Okay, do we have a quorum? We got seven? What do we need, seven?
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we have
We
9.
got a quorum, all right. Al, you ready? for it? All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Town of Miami Lakes Cultural Affairs Committee meeting. Today is Wednesday, September the 7th, 2022. The time now is 7:07. Reflect that, Madam Secretary. I'd like for you to do a roll call, please. Thank you.
Charles?
Present.
Elsa, present. Esther. Felicia. Present. Madeline. Present. Mireles. Present. Neil.
Present.
Jan. Present. Jeanette. Present. Ermi. Present. And then we have Elizabeth.
Yeah, yeah. That it?
That's it.
All right. Based on the roll call, we have constituted a quorum. The next item on the agenda is public comments. Do we have any public comments? We ask that you try to take no more than 3 minutes to make your public comments so that we can move on to the other agenda items.
Thank you.
Sir, go right ahead.
Thank you, Jim Robinson. Ray Garcia, 6796 Main Street. Take up this opportunity, I'll be quick. The reason I'm here is to speak about, or let everybody know, if you're not aware, that there is a bond referendum November 8th for the residents of Miami Lakes to decide whether to update Miami Lakes Optimus Park. And I'm here to speak about that. It's a $19.5 million bond. The average resident will pay about $6.50, around 70 cents per month. For a 250,000 average assessed tax value. As it goes up, if it doubles with a 450, it would be double, it'd be $14 a month. If you pay about $1 million in assessed value, it'll be less than $1 a day for you. The reason why it's so important to take this vote, just to involve yourself in the democratic process. The town was incorporated 20 years ago. One of the main reasons was to go ahead and fix Optimus Park, and now finally the residents have an opportunity. This is going to create not only a brand new park, but more areas, brand new areas for you to have cultural events. There's going to be an Airnasium, which is a covered basketball court, which will maybe you can also use for those events. It's just going to be a brand new facility that involves the latest amenities, best practices that are used all around the county, as far as new parking, baseball fields, lighting, and the biggest thing is drainage. Every time it rains, we have a new Lake Optimist. Takes weeks sometimes. As a baseball coach there, sometimes it will take weeks to be able to play. This will put us to a level where we're going to be able to withstand the upcoming climate storms that are coming, they're predicting over the next 10 to 20 years. It's an investment and it's a big one. So I just wanted to educate you that you can go to, the town is going to have information on that. Although by law, the town cannot take either side, they can only educate. So I ask you to go ahead and try to educate yourself as well. Also, there is a committee called saveoptimuspark.com. You can go there too, and you can see how much it's going to cost you, and you can see the plans, and you can make your own decision. So please tell everyone to make this, you're able to make this choice. So if you have any questions, I have 3 minutes. I'll be.
Thank you.
I'd just like clarification, you're referring to the Optimist Park that is owned by Miami-Dade County Public Schools.
It is owned by,
So
absolutely.
that is not we do not own it, even though we're spending a lot of money making improvements on it. At any point in time, they can come back and,
Actually, no.
no.
We have it for 60 years. We signed an agreement.
And what year are we in 60 years?
We just signed it. So
Oh, just signed
we have it for 60 years. They cannot come back.
Okay.
And there is the only section, there's a section that already exists as part of the school. And they can, it's a very small park, but we don't use that anyway as the park. But we have it for 60 years and
Thank you
All
for
right.
clarification.
Is there, no, that's it? Any other comments? Anybody else, public
Thank you.
comments? Thank you, sir, for
Of
sharing.
Thank
We're
you.
pleased to have the Miami Laker here today. And also our soon-to-be new board member, committee member, Elizabeth, welcome again. And to you, sir?
Well, hello, I'm Carlos Nazario, Nazario. I reside in PSN, and I volunteer here on several occasions during cultural affairs events, such as the bike rides, specifically the bike rides. So I'm just eager to hear about the upcoming bike rides this month. And also you have on here, we love our cows. And I was really grateful for you returning the cows. It's a splendid form. They came back perfect. So thank you very much.
And your name?
Carlos
Last name?
Alberto Nazario. Nazar.
N.A.
I'm an artist, a sociologist, and a
On the public comment, you think of that?
Carlos.
I don't know, I just wanted to let everybody know, anybody that's interested in the Save Miami Lakes, they're having a walk around, canvassing the neighborhood this Saturday, informing people of, what it's gonna cost them and what have you. Trying to encourage people to vote to save the
You're
park,
talking about the park.
to save the park. Mhm.
Okay. And what is your name?
My name is Ruth.
Okay. Yes, I remember, but we were wondering the other day, what your name
Okay.
is.
Any other public comment?
Mr. Garcia?
No, I'm here because I'm potentially gonna be nominated to a committee, so they told me I had to attend meetings.
Yeah.
Great, great.
Oh, okay.
Lady.
Q like Queen, UEIRO.
Okay, any other comments from the public? Hearing no more, hearing none, we will close the public comment section. And now we will deal with the agenda, deletions, additions, and deferrals. I'd like to add to the old business a couple of items that we need to discuss. One is the CAC polo shirts. Second one would be the CAC storage room items. And the fourth item is just a reminder that we are not to communicate with each other regarding any issues to come before this body. You're not to talk to, under sunshine law, you're not to talk to anybody about any item that's coming before this body for a vote. So please do not violate that, because there is a statute that is established by the state and affirmed by the county and all of the municipalities here in Dade County. So please have no discussion with any one of the members. If you wanted to talk to a member, you have to go through aisle. An aisle is supposed to reach out to the person and do it, but we are not to have direct communication with each other regarding any item that may come before this body.
Chairman, I would just like to add that I did some research on the sunshine law, and it says, straight from our Attorney General of Florida, you may send email to fellow members. However, no replies are permissible. So emails could be discussed at a future board or committee meeting. So they recommend the following footnote be added to any email. So in the event that someone needs to share information or want other members to be aware, it would just please, you put at the bottom, please note that as members of the whatever board or committee, two-way communication between members is prohibited by sunshine law. And do not reply because this may be an item for discussion at the next meeting. And also I did contact our legal representation and they said it's absolutely okay to email the minutes of a meeting to the secretary as well as the chairperson. Not to have them discussed, but to email them in the event that they're taken. So on that clarification.
So in other words, when I email the minutes, I usually email it to Al, to Gina, to you and me, because you're the chair and the vice.
I use that exact
Okay.
example.
Ladies
And
and
when
gen-
I take them for you, that I would, out of courtesy, send them to you,
As the
Al,
secretary.
and the chairperson. And he said that was
Ladies and
perfectly
gentlemen,
okay.
I thought I made it very clear that it says that we are not to have direct communication with each other regarding issues that's going to be voted on at this
If they're going to be voted
Well,
on.
that's what I said. That's all I said.
But I
That's what
want
I'm saying,
clarification.
But I think
because
also
it's
that
important.
all of the members here supposed to have gone through the training with the town's deputy attorney about the sunshine law and all the other governance bodies. So again, don't talk to each other about any item that's coming before the committee. That will make sure you're safe. As it relates to sending a memo and all of that, that's a different story. But I'm saying any item that's going to be voted on, you can't have any pre-discussion with your fellow committee member, okay?
At one
That's-
point, just to add to Suzanne, she made it very clear, but I'd just like to add, us as staff are will always indicate you to please refrain from even doing so, because as you
Yeah.
said, if anybody replies at that point, you are in violation. So just to avoid that even happening, it's good practice to refrain from that. I'm more than happy to forward you guys blank copy emails as I normally do. So if you need my help with that, just let me know.
Thank you,
so
thank
much.
you. All right, I was going through the items that I wanted to add, and I think,
You added three.
I think I have a fourth one, which is the mission statement subcommittee
That's
update.
It's on
Is that on there?
It's on there, yeah.
Okay, okay, I'll put it on there, all right, good. And I think also that I had the budget on there, so those are the three items. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the three items I asked to be added. It's been moved by Felicia, is there a second, please?
Second.
It's been probably moved in second. All those in favor of adding those three items, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Let the record show that these three items will be added in the order that I specified. Okay, review of the minutes. Has everybody seen the minutes? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you all tonight to try to make your comments as brief as possible because we have a really tight agenda. We've got a lot of, some of these items will require a lot of explanation, a lot of discussion. So, and we've got a report that's coming from a subcommittee, two subcommittees, as a matter of fact, and it's going to be quite extensive, I believe. And then also we have, as you know, the big Hispanic celebration month, and there's a subcommittee report that's coming from them. And so again, try to keep your comments as brief as you possibly can, but I'm not trying to keep you from having any input. You just simply need to try to move the agenda along tonight as much as you possibly can. Okay, so now we're reviewing the minutes. Has everybody seen the minutes from, I believe, I failed to say welcome back, everybody, from the recess for the month of August. We did not have a meeting in August, but we did have one in July. And, but we did have a subcommittee meeting in August. And so those of you who were on vacation and were traveling and enjoying yourself, welcome back. Now it's time to get re-engaged in all of the activities that this committee is responsible for. So again, please review the minutes, and once you have done so,
We're gonna vote on both.
you know,
The
starting with the,
subcommittee and-
yeah, when the subcommittee makes its presentation, we will go with that, okay? So right now, what we're doing is simply going over the minutes from July 13th, 2022. And hopefully you all have had an opportunity to review them. Again, I want to thank our illustrious secretary who does such an excellent job of capturing all of the great things that that this committee is doing. So again, thank you, Elsa, for doing such a timely manner. Thank you very much. So you want to take a few minutes to read it? I think we sent things
Yeah,
out.
it was
Kyle, I think it
emailed.
was sent, we were emailed to you and they were sent out, I believe. Is that correct?
With the
I
agenda.
don't
What's the
remember reviewing. I'm not sure.
It was emailed with the
Yeah, I
agenda.
have a pretty much all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, right on an email.
Well,
It lists everybody, including
mhm.
us.
I will entertain a motion regarding the minutes. If someone wants to make it, want to take a few more minutes to review it, please do so, and then we will entertain the motion.
Are we reviewing only the ones for July 13th?
That's right. That's the only one we're reviewing at this point. This is the minutes from the Cultural Affairs Committee meeting.
Yeah, I believe the August 18th are the ones in question. Yeah. And that you guys would have to make a motion to admit it as part of your agenda.
Well, it's really a part of the agenda when they're going to do the Hispanic celebration. That's going to be a part of that because this is a subcommittee that did that.
Yeah, so the full committee would approve those minutes, but I'm saying they weren't part of the agenda. I think that's why one of you was questioning it because these were received after the agenda deadline, so they weren't originally stitched to this.
Yeah, your email has the July.
Exactly. So it's up to you guys to make the motion to pretty much incorporate it into the agenda and then approve the minutes if you like.
All right, well, right now I have a motion on the floor for the approval of the minutes for the 13th. Was there all right, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of approving the minutes from last July meeting, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those that are opposed. And now we'll just simply make this a part of the agenda. The Cultural Affairs Subcommittee, and it should read the Subcommittee for Hispanic Celebration Month because we need to be very specific as to who the subcommittee is. So it's the Hispanic Celebration Month. I'll entertain a motion to add this to the agenda, and then we will vote it up once we get to that item on the agenda. Is that agreeable?
Yes.
All right, may I have a second on the motion, please?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of including Cultural Affairs Subcommittee on Hispanic Celebration Month, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And these minutes were done for August the 18th, 2020. All right,
2022.
2022, I beg your pardon, 2022. Okay. All right, let's move on to the first item on the agenda as we debrief regarding Symphony of the Americas. We'll give everybody a minute or two to respond to what they saw and what their assessment of it this year was. I thought it was a good event. We were just disappointed that all the people who had signed up
Correct.
did not show up.
Correct.
And the food was excellent. The orchestra did a wonderful job, and it was just a great evening. And then we're going to also thank who created the flyer. They did such a great job of it. Was that Jonathan or you?
Yeah,
Jonathan. And
As a matter of fact, I counted, we had 96 people in attendance, including us.
mhm.
And we had about close to 200 people.
That signed up?
Wow.
But let me tell you something, it was much more attended than the one before.
No, it
Remember? There
was.
like 12 people.
Well, it was,
Yeah.
but
No,
there were a few people that said that they went online and they saw that it was already sold out, so they didn't know. So, you know, we would like to maybe suggest that we don't close it up,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know, leave it
that's
open.
a good thing.
Yeah.
Because there were some people who did show up who had not registered. And we said, come on in.
And some of them that
Have a
didn't
great
know
evening.
because they saw it was sold
Although
out.
I will mention, we can leave it as, we can put as many tickets as we want in November, so you guys can tell me 1,000 and I would leave it to 1,000.
Mhm.
But just note that we did 200, which is double what you had, so
Right.
50% of people didn't show up.
And the other thing we have to be, that's what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah, the
The
capacity,
venue.
insurance, that's the only thing.
Capacity is so so key in making that kind of decision that you cannot exceed
So let's say
the,
400
and
and add
so-
200.
but it was.
200.
Go ahead.
No, you could allocate at least another extra 20%. Usually that's around,
Good.
doesn't show up.
All right.
It has happened.
Any other comments?
And we collected $40,
Great.
so you know.
Yeah, I just need you guys to sign on the more when you have it. to me.
Okay, but I was gonna suggest if we could use this money for our next event, can we do that?
You can, but it
We have
still
to
needs
go
to
in.
be like.
Have to be
private.
private.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So what
So-
form do I refill it?
I'm gonna have, you sign it.
Yeah, what we can do is make a motion tonight
Okay.
that the donation of $40 that we received from Symphony of the Americas be deposited in our account, and that those dollars will be able to be used for our next event or an event that may be coming
All
up.
right. Now we
Okay.
need to make the motion now.
Yes, please.
Okay. So then I make a motion that the $40
$40,
that was donated on the night of the symphony,
right?
that it would be deposited and used at our next event, the book talk.
Great.
Second.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Madeline, you go ahead and second it.
I've been seconding all night.
Everything, yeah.
You second everything on that. All right, it's been probably moved and seconded that we will use the $40 for the upcoming event in the future. Provided that the dollars go back into our general account and then be used later. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those that are opposed, let the record show that that motion passes unanimously. And now we've got to move to the next item, which is the September author book reading update. Now, first, I want to take this time to thank two ladies who have just done a yeoman's job in identifying an artist, an author, I should say, and who is, I read all the information about her. And Elsa, you and Suzanne, and I don't know who else was very involved, but did everybody get a copy of it? I saw it online. Please send it down, please.
So we need to.
So-
say the word.
Ladies, I don't know who's gonna go first. I don't, were you chairing this committee? Or was it both of you? Okay, you were co-chair. All right, so would you all please bring us up to date where we are and the number of people we can expect and just the entire layout of what will transpire on the evening of October 6th.
Right.
All right?
Okay.
Right here.
Right now, you know, the artist is very pleased with the flyer. I will send a copy of it and the corrected one also. And register was misspelled.
Oh,
And it was misspelled right on
Yeah.
that one too.
and that one, yeah. Okay, but it was fixed, so that was fine. She was very pleased with that. So as far as right now, everything looks like it's a go.
Everybody got one?
Do you want to pass it around?
Yeah, everybody got one?
Yeah, everybody has one?
Please, give our guests some as well.
Oh, you got one.
So we're very excited. This is gonna be a virtual conference. but it's
Yes,
gonna
no.
Well, it's gonna be a virtual.
Yes,
Please,
but
please.
it's going to be hybrid. In other words, you have to be present. It's not gonna be a Zoom that everybody can see. You have to be present. The only thing that the artist has asked, that we have at least a minimum of 10 people present. So I think we will, but we would like to ask the committee to please be present. At least the committee members need to come, please. Okay, and then right now, it looks very good. I don't know, Eventbrite, how many people have ours? Has anyone RSVP? I know I did.
I have, and I will tonight. I forgot to do it.
I'm sharing it.
And if all of us came
You have
and then
12.
brought another person, that
How
would
many?
be about
12.
25 people. And
Well,
it's gonna be held here in Town Hall,
it's gonna be held in Town Hall. It's gonna be at 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
And we're gonna ask the artist maybe to start at 7:30, so give us a chance to
Yeah.
check people in. Because she also would like to have email addresses of whoever attends, so that way she can also, you know, be in touch with them.
Yeah,
She has a third book coming out. As a matter of fact, Barnes and Noble has put it out already with a percent discount if you want to pre-order. It's a trilogy. So the third one is a Perfumist of Paris. That's coming
have
out
to
in
read the
March,
book?
March of 2023. You know,
Great.
very, very interesting book and
It's very captivating. So we're also going to have some desserts from an Indian restaurant go along with a cheese platter from Publix. And we're asking that we're going to just stick with the dessert. So that we had sampled food and I know we got excited, but we have to keep it warm and then that would entail. So the reason we're asking to start at 7:30 is so that people can have a glass of wine, have some cheese, have a little dessert, and then go in. And also we'll have 3x5 cards. So if anybody would like to write a question ahead of time, then Elsa and I, you know, as we proceed through the book talk and we get to the QA, you know, we can let someone know, like, for example, Maria Castillo has the following question for the author, and then we can read it. That way we won't be redundant with the same questions over and over.
organized.
Very organized way. We are asking if every committee member would be so kind to donate a bottle of wine towards our wine and cheese.
Yes, whatever you drink.
And we've got already cups and napkins. We've already got the cocktail cups and napkins from other events. And
Then we have a budget of $250.
$250.
yes, but that will be used for the cheese platter and for the desserts. Because we'll be purchasing.
Well, we also have now $40. We're gonna add to that, so that those will also be
I
very.
just want to mention about the $40, because I have to go back. You guys are actually in a deficit,
I know.
so I
We're
don't
gonna
know.
deal with that.
So I don't know that we'd be able to transfer money if we are in a
Well, but
deficit.
We still have $250.
Yes, that's part of your new fiscal year. I'm talking about what
Okay,
I
thank you.
You getting the money?
Yeah, but have you signed it?
That's okay, it's $250 for
That should
free.
be okay. All right.
As long as everybody brings a bottle of wine.
And we, as long as.
We'll say,
Yes, we
we
already
have
have.
it, we
cups
have
and-
it.
And we're asking everyone, please bring, excuse me.
Indian wine,
Indian
I
wine.
didn't know that there was an Indian.
We're also asking if you could bring a friend or two or whatever, so that we do have a good showing for
We
this
have to
event.
have at least 10 people, we don't
So
want to be
bring a
embarrassed, you know what I mean?
Bring a relative,
The committee has to come, mandatory, that's it.
yes,
Thank
send
you
everybody
all,
there.
thank you all for all the effort that you put forth in making this
Oh,
happen.
and then are we said that we're gonna get the technician or whoever to do the virtual with to help us with that?
I don't think you'll have someone here, because I think it's just a matter of starting the Zoom, but that's fine. I know how to start it.
Okay, perfect.
And I was gonna share the corrected flyer, virtual email, so that we can share it on our social media platform.
Yes.
The new
Do you
one
have
is
the correct
already,
one?
yeah.
Okay,
I just resent it.
Okay, she just.
The
resent us.
Miami-Dade Library system.
The Miami-Dade
Ladies,
Library.
We got one, listen, we got one at a time.
The Miami-Dade.
Library system is also promoting it.
Oh, good.
They've got the flyers there as
I
well.
just got corrected text. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Felicia, you want to add something? All right. Anything else? Hearing none, let's move on to the next item. We're looking forward to it. Please come out and let's have a great evening.
I am completing this form for you,
Thank
and so that we have, you know, the
table.
technician for the
Right.
Zoom and the tables, or minus the technician that we know.
Yeah, that was set.
If anyone from the committee member can be here at least at 6:45, because we're gonna probably need help, you know, just the people registering and the serving of the
Registering.
wine. Okay? So let's say 6:30?
6:30.
6:30 to be here.
All right.
Committee members, 6:30. Thank you.
Thank you all so much. We're looking forward to it, and we're confident it's going to be a very successful evening, and we're going to learn a lot about the books that you will be discussing.
And I did email all council members as well as the mayor with an individual cordial invitation from the culture.
All right. The next item on the agenda is something that's going to take us a little time to walk through. I'd like to call on the chairperson for this subcommittee for the Cultural Affairs Subcommittee on Hispanic Celebration Month. I want to make a minor correction on the minutes. It said I called the meeting to order. I did not. It was Trinette who called the meeting to order on that day, and that we had the individuals who were present, which is all correct, and we thank, I guess Suzanne, you were the one who did the minutes on that. So at this time, I'd like to give Trinette the floor and tell us where we are as it relates to this upcoming event that's going to occur when?
October 15th. And actually, are we making amendments to the meetings now, to the minutes?
Yeah, we're gonna approve those in just a second. I just said that the meeting was called to order by you, not me.
Correct. I have one more.
What else do you find? You find something else?
In addition to it, because we also had a motion that was made by Felicia to actually clarify and change the time and the date. So the date for the event is going to be October 15th from 6 to 9. And the motion was made by Felicia. And then it was seconded by Neil.
Right.
And it was, it passed.
Felicia, at the bottom, I have Neil seconded by Elsa, but it's Felicia. Made the motion seconded by
Neil. And the motion passed unanimously. And so we're gonna have the event October 15th from 6 to 9.
Great.
There was a
6
question as to the.
6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Correct.
October what, I'm sorry?
15.
Okay. What we'll do is let you go ahead and explain where we are and what you all are recommending. And then we will approve the minutes with the changes that you will articulate it. And then we'll also take up for consideration your recommendation, your committee's recommendation. So you want to walk us through that?
Yes, so
Thank you.
the subcommittee went ahead and approved for the food, Francisca's food. And we were able to obtain a quote for $738.72 for an average of 50 people. And it was 50 appetizers, 50 empanadas, and 120 platanitos, right? I think little plates. And we also went ahead and it's coming after. We went ahead and approved for the desserts from Bosco. And again, for the same amount of people, around 50 to 60. And it's the gelato ice cream for $246 and $10. We also recommended, because we might have more than 50, 60 people attend, to allow us to double the amount. So the food and the dessert not to exceed $2,000.
Okay. Any other thing you want to share with us?
Yes, and for entertainment.
Can I say something about the food? Okay, I have here the receipt from Francisca for 100 people. Okay, so we increased it. Arepitas, pequeños, empanadas. By the way, I had their chicken with the coleslaw and the platanito was delicious. It's delicious. I said, let me taste this. I know, make sure that we're doing it right, right?
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna cuff me, but no, they charged me. So they just gave me a VIP discount, $1. But it was delicious. That chicken was unbelievable.
Isn't it?
So anyway, they, of course, they did not charge us any tax. They gave us a VIP discount. And I told them that I wanted it to be delivered here at 5 o'clock. And they put the delivery charge and the tip. Okay, so the total $1,242. For 100 people. This is their invoice, my dear. I've been 3 times trying to tell them how to do an invoice. So this is it. For 100 people? Huh? For 100, yes.
Okay.
And you said it was okay, they gave you that.
I will try to work with you. I'm not
Okay.
sure, but if anything,
But the
I'll let you know.
W-9 is coming. That
Yeah,
is
I
coming.
can do anything.
So $1,242 for the food.
That's excellent also because we actually had like $200 less than what we were anticipating, because we had it at 700 and something, so we doubled it.
7:30.
Yeah.
That's good.
So the food is taken care of. And the good thing is that it's a restaurant here in Miami Lakes.
Yeah.
So we're promoting, you know, the restaurant here in Miami Lake. I did stop by another one that's called Sabor Venezolano near my house. So they said that they might donate an additional platter. So we'll see what happens.
Just so you guys are aware, a sponsorship came in today. I've been working with the barber shop. They actually sponsored 4th of July.
Yeah.
They're one of the sponsors, so they wanted to come in for this as well.
Great.
The barber shop here on Main Street?
Yes.
I think that's where Carlos suggested.
No, he's not that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then anything else you want to?
Yes,
share,
we
please?
also approved, for the entertainment. We have. Well, we had voted on Reno Bobby Ramirez for $300. And it was approved, but I believe, also found us a better option, correct?
Yes,
You want-
yes. As a matter of fact, we have the DJ Felix. It turns out that he was the same one that did when we did our Hispanic at QNC at the restaurant
Oh,
of Milo.
yeah.
Yeah, and he did the Nicaragua one
Okay,
also.
yeah.
So he's gonna, what happened was with this other group is that they were only gonna give us 1 hour for $300. And it's just gonna be this lady with a costume, and he was just gonna follow her with a drum, but he wasn't really gonna be he wasn't bringing any equipment. So then for $400, we get the DJ for the whole night.
Okay.
From 6 o'clock until 9
So,
or so.
That's pretty good.
all right, so we can vote on that one after the report, correct?
Yeah, after the report.
Does that have
And then we'll
another-
come back and do them all individually. if we
Okay.
need to.
Perfect. And
I'm
then,
just trying to get a global view of where we are in all that has transpired
yeah,
since we met.
that's pretty much it that we approved at that subcommittee meeting. And then we had also moved for today's meeting that if we have the additional items that we were gonna follow up on, that
Yes,
we vote on them today. So
great.
I believe we have the DJ and then the cultural dancers for the Venezuelan. Well,
Okay,
Felicia.
Lisa?
and Felicia.
I did some research on videos about Venezuela, which was very informative. I learned a lot about Venezuela. I sent them to Isles and Jonathan.
you sent me a copy.
Sunshine, no, I was just for them to look at them. They didn't reply. So, it's very informative. I got one actually from my Venezuelan coworker about this, it's called,
Which one, the Cascade?
the Cascade, which is
Yeah.
amazing.
Amazing.
It's
They're very
people
nice.
fly into it in a
Yeah.
helicopter and it's 2 minutes. And the other ones is like music and different dances. So it's very, very informative. I also found one about brief history of Venezuela, non-political, I didn't want to be political, but how Venezuela came to be named Venezuela, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
So, it's about 10 of them.
Yeah, I
So
watched
I don't know if we can play them all to the night.
Exactly, that would be great if we could use them.
Right, we had spoken about having the video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think
Yeah.
it's very informative, and I said, that's the purpose of the cultural affairs, is to inform and entertain.
And celebrate.
Celebrate.
Mhm.
So it was a fun research. So,
Thank you for
What
yours.
about the folkloric dancers?
okay, that's gonna come up now, because we did the report on what we did.
Right.
So then we have actually 3 new items to vote on. And so the first is gonna be switching from what we had chosen for the music, Bobby Ramirez, to the DJ. Felix, that was the same one we had for Nicaragua.
Right.
You wanna make the motion?
Yes, I make a motion that instead of Bobby, the ritmo, that we use DJ Felix for our event.
And that he will be playing authentic
And he will play authentic Venezuelan
Venezuelan music only that
and-
night.
and salsa.
Yeah,
He
whatever.
said salsa.
Yeah.
We want to
I'll-
dance.
I'll be happy to second that motion.
Yes.
You heard the motion, it's been properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
I have a question. Have we gotten an artist to display his or her painting?
No, but let's do the Felix
Okay,
one.
finish the Felix.
Let's, okay, we'll come back to that in just a minute, Felicia. We have a motion on the floor. We have it. It's been properly moved in second. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those that are opposed, the record shows that the motion passes unanimously. Your next item,
Okay, the next item was, we were looking for folk dancers, like authentic Venezuelan dancers to come in. So it was a little bit difficult to find the Venezuelan ones, but we finally were able to speak to a gentleman. His name was Yanni Rivas. He comes recommended because he prepared the dancers for the Calle Ocho event. So he's the one responsible for that. I told him our event is a lot smaller. We do have a stage. He was asking like for the dimensions. But basically he said right now he's working with 3 couples. So it's gonna be 3 couples. And what they offered was, I'm trying to get.
What is his name again? I'm sorry.
Yomil, Y-O-M-I-L.
Y-O-M-I-L.
And his last name is Rivas, R-I-V-A-S. And he's authentic Venezuelan.
is there a fee?
Yes, there's a fee. So that's why we have, for that part. Hold on, give me a minute. Let me do.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I think it's either Y-A or Y-O, I'm not sure, but it's
Well, that's
pronounced,
okay.
right? So he offered two choreography productions, dancing the joropo, and then playing the tambor, having 6 dancers, which are the 3 couples, all dressed up in their folk clothes for 1,500.
For 1 hour?
For two events, 2 shows. 2 sessions. 2 sessions.
2 sessions,
Why don't we-
2 choreographies.
Right.
We just have to ask how long the choreographies are.
Right.
They could be 7 minutes or they could be
Yeah.
15.
Trinette, sorry.
What was the
this-
amount again?
1,500.
For the stage we have is very small. They
No,
wouldn't-
no, no.
You're not gonna be able
I
to.
think we
fit
can
on the
have,
stage.
but they could dance on the floor too.
Yeah, but I
on
just
the
want.
floor.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Okay, so,
And we cut it in two instead of 1?
Yes, it's gonna be 2 sections.
But it
No,
can
we
be
could just
just
do
1
one
section
section.
instead of 2 sections.
and maybe we can get it for 500 or
Or
something.
750.
I can ask them, but.
Ask
Okay.
them.
All
Yeah,
right.
because in reality, we have a lot going on that
But
night.
I have another thing I wanted to add. I just got an email about some of the Venezuelans who were interested in participating. So,
Okay.
but I wanted your,
Yeah, no, but that's a different thing. Yeah,
This was for the dancers.
Yeah,
remember?
these
We
are
were
the
looking for
dancers.
dancers, but we were having a hard time finding.
I know, but I don't think the Nicaraguans
Can we-
even charge us last year.
Yeah.
Colombia, not either. We were, the Nicaraguan?
It just was a very good.
Very, very.
okay, so can we ask you to go back and see if we can get it for?
For
not
less,
to
for
exceed-
half and half,
Yeah,
or maybe less people, just 1 couple?
No, he needs to have the 3.
the 3 would be
half,
great, but just,
half.
and they would
Do
only.
one
perform-
choreography.
And you know what they can do?
Choreography.
They can only do it 1 time and be done with it. Because we've got
Exactly.
other things going on that
And
evening
cut
as
it in
well.
half.
Exactly.
So we'll accept that motion. Is there a second to her motion to?
Second.
Cut it in half?
What was the motion?
I think,
The
okay,
motion
I
is-
make a motion to see if the dancers can perform just one.
We have 1
session.
performance,
One session, one
Yeah.
performance at a lower price.
right? Not to exceed half of the $1,500 that we originally,
Right.
Okay.
okay? All right, who seconded it?
I'll second it.
Second, Mary Linton. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Those that are opposed? Let the record show that that motion passes. Okay, your next one?
Yes, the third and final item, at least for me, is, we were reached out by the state representative's office from Tom Fabrizio's office. So his, assistant indicated that they wanted to participate in the event. So I asked him what capacity. So they said normally when they have events like this, they can provide either a tent or a table that they have folks there, doing the immigration paperwork and providing advice. So I don't know if that's something
No.
that the cultural.
We want something to be celebratory that night. We want to go into that.
Yeah.
Okay? So is that the the young lady Marie?
Yes, the
Maria?
one that you mentioned that the
Yeah,
symphony
but I
that was
said
cooking
you-
for us, right, I followed up with her, and so she indicated that, and then another thing, she said maybe, bring something to give out. But I'm not sure, she elaborated more on the table for immigration and having people there since it was a Venezuelan.
That's more like for an
Yeah,
event
no.
outdoors or
Yeah.
something like that. That's not for what we're.
But
not-
So
again-
can we make the motion and then just deny?
Right.
Yeah. Are you want to put a motion on the floor?
Yeah, we'll put the motion, because they did reach out to us, and then we'll just vote. how we vote.
Okay. So there's a motion on the floor to,
Include the immigration table from, Tom Fabrizio's office of state. Rep.
all right, is there a second to the motion?
I'll second.
Been properly moved and
No,
second.
no,
don't have to
no,
second it.
no, no.
You don't have to
You
second
don't
it.
have to second it, no. No, we're gonna
Oh,
vote
got
and
it,
see
okay.
who's in favor.
If you don't get a second to your motion, the motion dies.
Okay,
Yeah.
so.
So unless you want
No.
it to pass.
Got it. Okay, so yeah, I think consensus, we're not passing it. So I make the motion back.
All right, there wasn't a second to the motion.
No.
All right, next item.
But thank you. I think that was it.
Is that all that they can bring to us? I mean, she was so insistent in being very involved. I spoke to her on the phone 3 times.
Have her bring some Polar
That's what I'm
beer.
saying, bring something.
Well, I can, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have any, we're gonna give out. to
That's
drink.
doesn't she know some Venezuelan business that would bring something that we can?
Or the
Anyway.
sodas.
I'll follow up with her and see.
Would you please?
Yeah, sure.
All right,
Yeah, just
Yeah,
tell her
next
that,
time.
that if it could be something cultural, that's more like on the.
Right, and we were looking more
aspect
for
and-
like having.
Yeah,
that
drinks
we're-
and stuff.
Now, we're looking for sponsors for beverages.
yeah,
Okay.
that would be helpful.
Yes.
But that's not too expensive for
No.
beverages, you know,
No.
so if they can do that, that
So
would be
I-
really great.
The lady from, a few of them, I asked them to see if they knew the distributor of Polar beer, because I'm sure there's a distributor here. So they're gonna give me that information. And I thought maybe there's a soda that is called, ¿cómo se llama? Fabrosito, whatever. It's a soda that Sedano sells. And if not, we could buy the soda and then we could serve it in cups, to people.
We could do that.
Sedano sells it. I was gonna stop by Sedano and I didn't have a chance to buy one. But it's called, it's a very popular soda and it's very typical.
Okay. Well, let's follow up with that and see if we can,
Okay, yeah, so 2 things to follow up on the dancers to see if we can have half the time.
yeah,
And then the immigration table, instead of having that, possibly having them donate to beverages.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
There you go.
All
But we
right.
don't wanna get involved into forms or immigration or anything.
No, because that's not what we're doing that night. Again, it's celebrating that culture.
It's
Okay.
called frescolita.
What does it look like?
Frescolita,
Oh, I've seen
frescolita
that.
is a very popular red soft drink in Venezuela. Similar to some sodas in the US. Cream soda. Yeah, Venezuelan cola. It's like a Venezuelan cola.
All right.
cola. Cream soda. The sugar back.
Burnett, you,
Yes, and then, so I want to move to approve the minutes that we
Alright.
had with the 2 changes that were noted.
all right. It has been properly moved and seconded that the minutes be accepted with the minor modifications that were made. And that we accept the recommendations that the minutes captured from the subcommittee on Hispanic Celebration Month as we celebrate the Venezuelan diaspora.
What happened with the mayor?
I'm gonna get to that. I want to put the minutes out of the way first. Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Those that are opposed, let the record show that your committee minutes and activity stands approved with those few minor modifications that were made. Thank you for your efforts in putting this together and the hard work that it took to assemble all of this. At our subcommittee meeting, if you remember, I indicated to you that I was going to reach out to the mayor of this town, to reach out to the mayor of Doral, because their major population is Venezuelan. So I did do that, and I sent an email to Joseph Sosa, who is our mayor's assistant, and he sent an invitation to the Doral mayor and the elected officials there. And so we'll see what happens with that. And we also, in my email, I asked them to see if some Venezuelan business might want to contribute or be a sponsor in our event. So we're waiting to hear back from them. And finally, yes, I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
Do we know the content of the email?
We never saw the email, just that he sent it.
Just that he said it.
Yeah.
He
I think
used the
copied me on-
flyer. He used the flyer.
He used the flyer to send. He sent the
Oh,
flyer. Okay. The other thing I wanted to bring to your attention, I received an email, activities for kids and Spanish Heritage Month. And this comes to us from a Mr. Miguel Village.
Villegas. Villegas.
Young.
Villegas.
There you go, okay. Good afternoon, Io. We're glad that the city of Miami Lake is taking our Venezuelan community for its special event. Our board of directors, where our event attendees can participate in different activities on staging, always giving an educational message based on Venezuela host Luis Guzman. And the stimulation and translation is available upon request. Don't hesitate to contact us if you would like to schedule an event with us in the future. And this signed by Miguel. This was another individual who was reached out, and I have not reached back out because it was sent to Isle. And Isle, did you have any conversation directly with him about that?
The Life for Kids Foundation?
Yeah.
No, I sent it to you guys so that you can review and discuss if you like.
Okay.
What is it proposing?
He's
Nothing.
proposing entertainment for kids, but in reality, this is an
This
adult
is adult
event.
event.
There are very few children that come. We prefer it to be
The
adults,
adult
you know,
event.
which is
Well,
what
we'll reach
always
back out to
happens.
him. I just
I
wanted-
think this could be safe for another time,
Time.
another event that we might
All
have.
right, so we'll save this one another event.
Yeah, but that's outside. This looks like it's something, a stage or something, you answer questions.
All right.
Mrs. Claus or something.
We've got our marching orders on that, so I will respond to them tomorrow based on what we've been able to do.
Future events.
Future event, yeah, that's why I just said save it for some future event. All right, next, is there any other items to come before us regarding the Hispanic, I call it Hispanic Heritage Month Venezuelan celebration?
Oh, I was in Pembroke Shops, and then I saw the little card that says Doña Chicha. And I took a picture, and I went and they gave me a little tasting of it. It's very good.
That's another, yeah.
It's
I
like
saw
a
it
creme
there.
de vie, it's
Yeah.
like a creme
Yes.
de vie, it's very good. So I sent it out to, who was gonna call this guy, Billy? Didn't I?
Okay,
The owner? Didn't I send you an email? You didn't see it? To call Billy?
Depends if you sent it this weekend or my birthday.
Ah,
I have like
yeah.
urgent messages there.
Okay,
happy
but
birthday.
Thank you.
they seem interested in coming.
So
and
call
they have a
Chicha.
really pretty card.
That'd be
They have a
Reach
really
out to
pretty
them.
card. Well, I guess.
Who am I calling also?
Doña Chicha.
Billy, you're calling Billy.
Give her the information, she can reach out to them and see what they're saying.
And there's a lady that also, that the one that was working that stage, she says that she decorates with balloons and things like that. So I don't know.
That'd be nice.
Great, we
Who
do
does?
that.
When in Colombia, we had that process.
Yeah.
But this card is very pretty and it says Doña Chicha. It's like a creme de vie. It was very good.
So it's like for a drink and for decoration?
Well, June is the decoration and Billy is the owner of the cart for the drinks.
All right,
Let's see what we
let's do that and see what we can do.
Okay.
All right, shall we move on, please? I have an item on the agenda that I want to bring to all of us, all of our attention that's been plaguing us for the last year since COVID. And that is CAC events attendance. We need to figure out some way of how we continue or to improve our publicizing of our events, or any kind of marketing strategy that we might be able to utilize that's going to generate more individuals attending our events. That is so essential. And I just want to put that on the agenda because, again, oftentimes we have such great performers, great entertainers, and it's just so disheartening not to have a large audience out there to savor those moments with those entertainers and events. So anyone had any ideas, any recommendations?
Alexandra was just here from the Lakers. She left.
Yes, you left before we got to
Yeah,
the.
well, she just wanted to listen to a couple of things.
This one was a good one. Yeah.
She had called me and said that she was coming. She wanted to give us a heads up that she would be coming. this
Yeah,
evening.
she's gonna highlight all the different
All the committees.
committees from the town.
Yes.
Last week was especially.
In the past, the Laker used to feature our events on the front page. And I think they're doing it for the bike ride.
Yes, in fact, they
I
do
think
this.
So I think they
Yeah.
should.
Nice, yeah.
I emailed her the flyer for this and she said that she has spoken to you.
And Suzanne, they
So if they can put this on the front page, this one on the front page. These are activities for the community.
She
You
said-
don't need to know. You put it on the back page.
Right. She said she was really happy that we gave her so much upfront time.
Yeah,
Because I
exactly.
contacted her 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm gonna send her this.
The
one.
fall book.
to send her the
Yeah,
revised one.
I don't
And
remember.
I also think maybe in, working closely with the other committees because they, like the senior advisory committee, they have excellent attendance
The
at
elderly
their
service.
events.
Elderly service.
Yeah. Elderly.
Elderly service.
Elderly affairs.
Elderly affairs, I think.
And then the educational advisory, I know like I'm working with them on their event that's coming up on September 15th, mental health, the signs. So maybe a little more crossing over with our other committees.
We have learned.
I happen to serve on the Economic Development Committee, and they deal with different businesses in the community. And they always I always ask them to recommend to us how we might get some additional sponsors from these businesses who want to have their name recognized here in the town. And so the new chairperson is saying she's going to help us see if we can access some of those individuals.
I think I took a picture of the Instagram.
Mhm.
Instagram, I've been getting a lot of powerful messages from the
Instagram.
youth group. And let me tell you, it comes out and it pops your, you want to pay attention to it. So I'm wondering if we could do the same, Al.
Do
Can
what?
someone help us on Instagram for the town?
We do promote the events on Instagram.
But this, let me tell you, they're
There's one
constantly
for the
putting-
youth that is specifically for them. They have all their activities. We don't
all
have
their
that.
So I need
Are
to see what you guys
mentioned.
are talking about, so I can help you with that. If you guys don't show me what you're talking about, then I can't help you. If you're just talking about the regular, like, social media, then we do post it. But you're, Felicia's saying it's something different, so I
Okay.
need you to show me what it is.
Okay, so
I did.
while you look for that, Elsa, I think that you guys shared on the stories, and the stories go on for 24 hours, but not posted. Look, I'm going through the post now, and there's nothing about the book.
No.
Yeah, the
And it's
stories are
also-
short.
And something, just while we're on the topic, just so you know, we are kind of going away from promoting flyers on Instagram. The flyers are gonna be reserved more for Twitter and Facebook because they're more appropriate for that in terms of what the social media marketing strategy is.
So the mayor's gala was promoted on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 posts.
Because the
6,
mayor.
7 posts.
Right,
a lot.
because
I
the mayor
understand.
requests.
Okay, so
No.
we're requesting it as well.
I'll let them know you're requesting. I'm just letting you know that that's. the
I
social
don't even see
media
the symphony
use.
on here on posts.
Yeah, no, it was definitely promoted. but-
I know it was on stories, which is what happens. Stories go away after 24 hours. So if you didn't catch it because you're working and you don't know what's going on.
So I will bring up your request. I'm just making you aware of what the plan has been with communications going forward. We are going away from flyers. I understand that that is your request to go against that, so I will make sure to let them know. I just wanted you guys to be aware as to why you probably haven't been seeing it recently.
So if they're going away from flyers, then what else can we do to promote it as a post, not as a story?
Well, we're trying to do more pictures, so if it's anything from the past or videos that are very captivating to the
Okay.
Instagram audience, we can do that. Like, if you want to bring back, I don't know if you guys have videos from before, I can check
Yeah,
from the
I'm sure we
Hispanic
do.
Heritage.
Yeah.
This, it just basically says everything they're gonna do in September. That's what it
We're not
says
there.
here.
Well, no, you
No,
guys,
this is a youth.
this isn't the one
Yeah.
that you guys used to get. You guys would get just like individual flyers for that.
So can we do something like this?
Sure, I can ask. I'm just
Right.
letting you know what.
Yeah, because in October, then you'll see everything
All right,
that
so
we're
why
gonna
don't,
do
why
in
don't we have,
October.
make a motion so that we can make it official, that this body is requesting that CAC Cultural Affairs Committee events are posted on Instagram. What other platform though?
Facebook.
Facebook. What else?
Senior bingo was posted
But
twice.
not as a, not as a, not,
Senior bingo.
not
That's why
as a
senior
flyer.
Not as a flyer,
Not
but
as a
it,
flyer.
then it stays up.
The
Not as
whole
a
thing.
story, as a post.
That's a post.
They can do the story too, but as a post as well, and it's so easy to do both of them.
So you made the motion.
Yes.
All right, I'll second your motion. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those that are opposed, thank you. That at least hopefully that will generate some better attendance. All right, let's move on.
Another thing for attendance, I was wondering if the committee would like to entertain making, well, for example, we have, let's say, one activity a month with a couple of months where we have more than one, obviously, but just as we have a request for for guidelines for attendance to our meetings, do we want to entertain some kind of guidelines for committee members to actually attend the events that we plan?
Part of your committee rules are actually that committee members need to attend 50% of the events. It's
Does
just
say
somebody has to take the
50%?
initiative to keep tabs on that pretty much.
Okay, so then that
50%.
is there, 50%.
50%.
Part of the committee rules. No, for
No, for
meetings,
meetings,
you
you can only
cannot
miss
miss more than 3.
Yeah.
And then
But we're
apart
talking
from
about
that,
events.
it's also a requirement to attend 50% or more of events.
So,
All right.
But
do
it's
we-
just up to somebody
So
to
do we
keep track.
want to entertain raising that more than 50, keep it at 50, and then maybe make a motion on actually keeping track of that?
Well, 50 is the committee rules per the town committee rules.
Oh,
Yeah. It's just
So
if you
why-
guys want to enforce it, it's up to the committee to keep.
Why don't we establish someone on this committee tonight to keep a account of attendance from committee members to our various events?
I volunteer because I will do everything.
Okay, Felicia? So you got a, no, but what we would like, at least that you report to this.
We'll do something like this.
Suzanne, are you available to help in that process?
sure. Could help Felicia with that.
So that we have kind of a report, maybe every quarter on how many people attended our events or something from this committee. And then I know you brought up the last time we met, Suzanne, I believe it was, like you reaching out or us reaching out to the elected officials from this town.
Right.
And have we had any success?
I just did it for this particular event, the fall book talk, and we'll see what happens. I sent them all emails, cordially inviting them to this particular event, letting them know what it's about, and asking them to not only attend, but to promote it with family and friends if they could.
This might be a little bit touchy for the town.
Let's don't do it with me.
No, it's just that our concert was not attended by
Yeah,
anyone
no
from the
elected
town, not
official.
even the staff. And I emailed to everybody,
Yeah, I know
and it
that we
saddens
did.
me because we put a lot of effort for that beautiful concert. None came.
Okay. Thank you.
And I contacted.
I know, we're gonna do it.
I did.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I also ask something about the meeting attendance? If,
Mhm.
how long do you, remember, I'm new,
Go
how
ahead.
long do you usually wait when someone doesn't attend 3, 4,
Right away, they
5
send you
meetings?
something.
As soon as they hit that mark,
Yeah, as soon as they hit the
our
third, they'll send
secretary
you.
is
Yeah.
responsible for
Okay,
giving us a count of how many people, how many absences that any of us have in a period of time, especially if we've been out 3 meetings and have not been there, then she immediately is supposed to send that information to the town clerk. And then they're gonna take action to say you have to be removed from the committee. You can get reappointed, but you have to be removed from the committee because of that.
do we currently have anyone that fits that situation?
Yeah.
So
Yes,
right,
we do.
I don't actually go off of that log, I go off of whatever minutes you have, because that log is constantly changing for that very same reason. And just so you guys are aware, town council has now sent about a week or two before their council meeting, they are sent an attendance log based off the minutes that show the attendance. So they themselves see when somebody's been absent.
And what about the excuse absence?
Well, that's why in the minutes, I believe you do it, that it says excused absence.
I don't think so.
If it
No.
does,
I was
then they're being
excused for
counted out.
July.
Yeah, I know.
Because
That's
I
why
had-
I have you. as
Yeah.
an excuse.
Yeah.
absence.
Then they're being
I
counted
didn't have
as
COVID,
absent.
I tested negative, but they told me no.
They shouldn't be counted if they're excused absences.
I can go back and double check, but I think some people have been removed because of that.
Yeah, I
Let me
know at
double
least
check for
two
you.
people were removed because.
What
they-
about Nick? What's the
No, Nick
status
is
of
gone.
He's
Nick was
gone.
removed.
Diana Soto is gone too.
Yeah,
Nick said he had put in to
you have-
be reinstated.
well, that, if he does that with
Yeah, they
the
can be
elected official.
Yeah, you
that's
just-
fine.
It's up to
bring
the
back.
elected official.
Yeah.
You want to take a picture?
So you
Okay.
have Denise, people that were
Oh,
currently
Denise?
Denise
recently
Soto,
removed,
yeah.
Denise, Diana, and Nick.
Not Denise.
And Nick, right.
So those were the three people that.
Let me see what I have. What are the ones you're putting down?
Yeah, no one, Mireles had an excuse absence.
The July one.
All right, is there any other discussion regarding?
I
the
guess just
attendance?
while we're on the topic, so going forward, make sure to include it as part of the minutes. That's all.
Yes, I didn't know that.
Okay, yeah.
so I will.
I'll look at this one.
So
So-
again, you don't use the roster, the directory with all of the names that you
I
just
just gave
did?
it to her, yeah,
Okay,
that's what I use to record it, but now they're saying that I have to also put it in the minutes, which I didn't know if it was an excuse absence.
Yeah, this isn't required. What's required from you guys is really the minutes. This just helps you keep, I know it helps you
Exactly,
keep track.
exactly. Well, that was never mentioned. Usually it shows whoever is
so,
present. and
so in the minutes, help me to understand that, we will say that John Brown has missed 2 meetings?
No,
No,
was
no,
not
no, no.
present. You're
On the
just
top,
the
I'm just
attendance.
saying,
That day.
on the top, I'm saying whoever is
Who's
here,
here?
and then whoever, it has an excuse
Mhm.
absence, so, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that way she knows.
And then the
Everything
ones
else
that
will
don't
be
have an
absent.
excuse, what are
Do
you
I have
putting
to
in?
put those?
No, everything else is pretty much
Everything
absent.
else is absent, yeah.
All right.
But if you want to be clear and put absent, absent. and
I
you
can
can
do
do
I
it
think,
too.
I think it needs to go there so that there's
Okay.
no ambiguity, that everybody who reads this will know these people were absent and that they missed 3 meetings. Because it's not fair to some of us who miss a meeting and or miss
We do
2
have 2
meetings and
absences,
next
right?
thing we know,
Yes.
we're off because we
Yeah.
missed a meeting.
Okay, I
Yes,
asked you about July,
No, yeah, you're.
I have put you down.
because I
as
could come, yeah.
all right, let's move on, please. CAC mission statement. We have a committee, which is being chaired by you, Felicia. We have not met, and we do need to move on this as soon as possible to at least begin drafting a new mission statement that we can use.
It's not, and just so we're clear, it's the mission statement that you guys see online is derived from your actual resolution, which is
I
committee was
understand
based
that.
on. So it's really the resolution that you're making the changes.
Well, it's the mission statement, which is a part of the resolution.
Yeah, yeah, it's
And
saying
what,
it.
what economic development did the same thing that I'm suggesting that we do. Is that they formed a subcommittee that came up with a new mission statement that was presented and it was approved by the legal counsel for the town and ultimately approved by the manager. And so it's now, so I'm simply saying, we need to do the same thing as soon as we can. And I think at our last meeting in July, that was
Yeah, you
Felicia
guys said you were gonna get with me to
to
schedule
do
a
that.
subcommittee.
So, Felicia, we are counting on you to, let's move this, please. I know you got a lot on your plate and
No,
you,
I know, but I think, do we have to discuss this in our subcommittee or can we discuss it with the?
no, I think what it needs to
You
happen
wanna
is
do it
this.
in your-
The way that, the most effective way to do is to have a subcommittee, to wordsmith it, bring it back, and then recommend it to the committee. We will spend all night with changing words and myth if we do that, so we have to have a subcommittee.
Changing it tonight.
No, what I'm saying to you, Felicia, I believe it works best, please, if we just go the subcommittee route and then come back with a recommendation, and then we'll work it out. So we are waiting for you to give us some time when you can call your meeting and we can come with some recommendation of what we would recommend the changes to be or to maintain the same. All right? All right, thank you.
So are we going to set a date now?
Well, she's got to do it. She's the chairperson for the committee, not me.
I understand
So
that,
the
but I'm
subcommittee
waiting.
needs to, she has to decide when she can do it. What are your schedule like, Lisa?
If you can't decide right now, you can just email me and we'll
Yeah,
work out the date.
Yeah.
All right, when you do that,
Thank
please?
you.
Thank you. All right, let's move on, please. Jazz in the Park. Charles, where are we?
Yeah, Jazz in the Park, we saw one group, I'm still working with Nick. Nick is helping me even though he's not on the committee because he knows about 8 or 10 different kind of groups. And he has one, we don't have the name yet, but I didn't know he wasn't gonna be reinstated because that's what he told me. That he was gonna start, hoping he'd be here tonight. So I have his number and I will have it. And what I'll do, the one group that I have, I'll send it to Al's and then I'll send it out and you guys can look at it and see. We're still looking at November 12th. That is still a date for the event, November 12th.
7 p.m. Veterans Park.
Right.
What's the name of that group, Charles?
We don't have it yet.
Oh, you don't have it?
Right.
No.
But I will have it and I'll send it to Al and I'll let Al send it out. You guys can see it. If you know some other group, a lot of these groups, it's not as easy as it used to be before. A lot of these guys want a lot of money and they're trying to make up for the time of the pandemic when they didn't have it. If anybody have a suggestion, you can give it to Al and I'll go and research it and I'll have it for you. But we still have time to firm it up.
Let me ask you to, let me put a pin in that for just a second. Elizabeth.
Yeah, I already talked to her. She's gonna be with me.
What I was gonna do is ask her to begin preparation for coming on the committee, to look at some, don't you all have a college jazz band or something at St. Thomas or something that we might be able to access, or just help us come up with some names, something, because it would be really great to have, because that's what we did with Florida Memorial. We brought them here. We've never done anything with St. Thomas. And so this may be a great opportunity for them. I'm sure they got a little jazz band there or something that we might be able to access and make a part of this thing, because the time is running out. It's September, what's the date? September 7th, and we got October and the end of November. So a lot of these entertainers already get booked up as opposed to Thanksgiving and all that. So Elizabeth, thank you for considering working with us on it. Charles, thank you for reaching out to her. All right, anything else you want to add? All right, thank you. Let's move on. The budget will be finalized. When is it? September? When's the last budget workshop?
Almost the last day. Hold on.
Last day of September.
No.
I think it was September.
September 27th.
27th, yeah. So by then, we will know if our budget that we submitted was approved by the council. And I have not heard anything that's different than what the manager is recommending at this point, or what we presented to them. So hopefully that will work. Moving on to the next item. Hopefully by next meeting we will know specifically if our budget was approved. And the next item is We Love Our Cow program update. Felicia, anything you want to? I got a call from a young lady by the name of Muneris Yancy.
In the agenda, there's a copy of it in the back.
Nancy Mendez, right?
This one? Rain artist?
Yeah. No, this is a young lady who wanted to be involved with the paint. Yeah, she's an artist. I gave her your name. And she didn't reach out to you. She was supposed, I had first had invited her to come to our meeting and to share with us what she actually wanted to do. And she said she could not come to because I think it's her son is getting a class ring tonight or something, and she had to be there for that, and she just could not make this meeting. So we will follow up, and again, because I know you chaired the subcommittee for We Love Our Cow, I gave her your email.
What is the artist's name?
Her name is Yancy M-E-D.
What is?
Yancy.
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 Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right,
NCY.
yeah, sí, the wise, the wise, the wise.
Yeah.
There was a time in Cuba that they were always started with the one.
Is that right?
All the
Right
wise,
around
all the wise.
the Russian and.
Yes.
Julia, the French wise.
Yeah.
Or which house?
She didn't say, yeah, I'm just asking. She just, I gave her your number so she can talk to you.
We already have the cow, and I have an artist. We
Okay.
need to find out who they are because
Well, she said she's an artist,
we need
so.
to tell that person that they need to follow the guideline. Find the cow and to pay the property. We lost the cow from a former member, like I mentioned, because she was gonna fix it and she never could turn it.
All right.
Because the artist who did that cow didn't do it properly.
All right.
Missing cow.
Thank you.
I mean, look at the new price.
I saw it.
Almost $12,000.
Yeah. I remember when it came out, they were so cheap.
Who's buying this, Felicia?
No, that's just a quote. So
No,
if
that's
it's
For a
quote
new
that they
cow
gave.
or to paint the cows we
for
have?
any business that would want a new cow, this is the.
Oh, if you want a new cow, okay. Because it wasn't clear, it wasn't clear what was here.
This is
Ladies,
not
This person went
including.
ahead and did it on his own.
lady, we gotta move on. We got 4 items else to cover.
Just so you're aware, this is not including the artist paint fee, this is
Yeah.
just the mold.
The fabrication.
And
I'm putting it together.
And they.
All right.
Well, it would be without
Thank you,
tax,
everyone.
but yes.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Bye, thank you.
All right, so will you please follow her about?
Listen, you,
You have her number?
you wanna help
I
us
don't
in
know
the
who you're
Venezuela?
Yes,
in
I'll be
Venezuela?
volunteering.
Email? I sent a copy of
Yes,
it.
yes.
Okay, I'll pull it up and send it, resend it.
Sorry,
Alright.
while we're on this, and I'm sorry, I know there's been a lot of conversation, but the point of me getting that quote was because there was somebody from Veterans Committee that wanted to do a cow at the Veterans
That's
Park.
Veteran Park,
So
yeah.
Felicia made me aware that there's a process, and I think there's just been a couple of years where it's been empty and dead. So we're trying to reestablish what those guidelines are.
All right,
So I don't.
she had them.
Okay, so Felicia says she'll meet with you.
Yes. Meet with you. She got
So
all
we'll
that
bring it
stuff.
back to you guys and we'll just.
Please, thank you. All right, last item, y'all, everything is moving on as it should, so I'll just table that. The other thing I want to get to right quick, and that is the CAC polo shirt. At our last meeting, we asked anyone that was interested, that wanted a polo shirt, to please contact Isle. No one contacted her regarding.
I got curious.
All I'm doing is reacting to the email that I got, since that nobody had reached out yet. So the point is, if you wanted a shirt, you need to get your size to Isle so that she can do it. Secondly, we don't have any money at this point to purchase the shirt, so we'll have to take the money out of October 1 fiscal year dollars. Okay, so I need a motion on the floor tonight to take, how much did you say it would cost?
It depends on how many.
Oh, well, it's only 4 people.
I mean, you
think
guys
that's-
already approved the shirts. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of. their
Oh, we have some new members coming.
That's
on
true. All right, so why don't
So
we
table it till.
table it to the next
Next
meeting?
meeting.
All right, item will be tabled to the next meeting. All right, other issue. I received an email late on, I think Friday or Thursday, Friday, I believe it was.
Yeah,
About the storage room. Did anybody respond? I called you, but I didn't never got a
Yeah, I
response.
was
I
out of
called
the
you, Suzanne, I never got a response.
I have an
called
update for you guys.
Police, I
Okay,
didn't speak to her.
I have an
About-
update. You guys don't have to worry about that.
Don't have to do
The
it.
staff's gonna go into. it.
All right, so that's done. Wipe that out. And, I think, let's see, item before then. That's it. That's it.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
We're part of the culinary
Yes.
invite.
Oh,
Yes, we are.
Talk about that.
I'm on the subcommittee. I'm on the subcommittee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're on the
we
subcommittee.
met 2 weeks ago. It's finalized for September 17th. We have NQC confirmed. We're leaving from here towards NQC. The route is on here.
on the back
No.
here.
Oh, no, it's not.
It's on the-
No, I have an email with the route. I'll tell you now.
Yeah, I know, I got it, but I wasn't able to bring it.
By the way, You all did a great job with these flyers. He was really nice.
He did a wonderful job. I
Jonathan,
mean, he did one and then.
Wonderful.
but
Absolutely.
yeah,
I
gave him
the
suggestions,
rest
yeah.
Because
I
I
know.
showed it to my, there is a.
And she helped you correct it, huh?
No,
Yeah,
it was very controversial.
Did Dr. Limon Cruzeiro finally sign up?
Okay.
Okay, because it leaves from here, we go to NQC.
Hold on, we got.
Yeah, it
go
leaves
ahead.
from here, goes to NQC. NQC is confirmed, and then we bike to the shopping center where Vicky Bakery is. I don't remember, I think that's Lake Catherine
Lake,
Shopping
no,
Center.
Lake Patricia.
Lake Patricia, or, yeah, I think. or
Yeah.
Catherine. Domenico's and Vicky Bakery are confirmed. They were trying to get the liquor store to give some samples of some alcohol, because there's no alcohol in that shopping center. And then we bike to the Holiday Bakery Shopping Center. I don't know any of the names of the shopping centers. The Cypress Bakery. Cruzeiro and Dr. Limon, did they confirm? Who's confirmed in that shopping center? I know Gauchos is confirmed, because I confirmed them.
Pampers, yeah.
We were waiting for Dr. Limon and Cruzeiro.
And Pamper Chef.
Pamper Chef, I don't know if they confirmed.
They didn't.
No.
They always did last time. Yes. And also, I believe that,
I know, September 17th, I
what about that?
requested that it be moved, but apparently some other committee
Brazilian
members
steak
told that it could
place.
go forward on the 17th, so.
The Brazilian steak.
We have
place
Dr.
that-
Limon.
And
That's
then Cruzeiro is
That's
confirmed as
Cruzeiro.
well,
Okay, okay, yeah.
because it's the same owner.
Send that though, because I need to send him individually,
Okay.
or let him know to reach out to me.
No, no, and he's not, ask Rudy, Rudy's the one that got him. So-
Rudy hasn't
Are you
given me
in
any.
charge of
No, no, no,
the-
ask Rudy to
screen
follow up with him
or
about
the
Cruzeiro,
optimist
because
that-
he's the
that
one that
gives
reached
the
out to him and he
messages
confirmed
of
with
what's
Rudy.
going
And
on?
said he was going to register, so maybe he was under the impression that if he
The
registered for Dr. Limon,
I'll
he
send
was
him an
sufficient.
email
Oh,
now.
the optimist is.
And then
Gauchos and.
Gauchos, Pamper Chef.
No,
Please. We almost through.
Anyone else in that shopping center confirmed?
just Gauchos and Los Beneficios.
Dr. Limon.
And I mean, Dr. Limon. That's it.
And then from there, we bike to Miami Lakes, Main Street, and Miami Lakes Steak and Sports is confirmed, the old Chulas.
It's September the 17th. is
Chelas
the
is the
event.
last stop.
Chelas is the last stop, but before that, is Pizza Scene
Miami
is
Lakes
confirmed.
and
It is
Pizza
17th.
Scene and, the Garrison she was gonna get back to me, but she's doing samples of drinks, so. It's not
Yeah,
just-
but we're not advertising.
Okay.
Okay. Oh,
They-
double check with her.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there's not a lot, we should have moved the date.
Just a reminder, that the tickets are $30, they're on sale now. They have a maximum of 200 tickets available. So if you're interested, we gotta go ahead and do it. And secondly, the mayor's gala is coming up. If you're interested in going, you need to purchase your ticket, so you can get, it's always a very fun evening.
We're sorry about the bike tour. We're partnering up with Bike 305, but
Right.
I was told from residents that called in that were advised that there's only 10 bikes.
Really?
Well, because Bike 305 had donated some bikes from us, and that's what, we don't have a lot. It's not a lot. That's why we're advertising as everybody bring their own.
I
just
know,
in
but
case.
the last event, they donated a lot more bikes, so I don't know if they
It's
can
not
do
that they,
something
no,
about that.
they
Or
they
we-
donated like we own them, like, and
Oh.
we get to use them for our events. It's between 10 and 15.
Well,
So
apparently for the 2019 event, I wasn't here, I was out of town, but I
It
was
was
told that
good.
there was a lot more
Oh, they had
bikes.
probably 20-25 bikes.
Well, I'd say Bike 305 decides to bring their own. If not,
Okay,
as
so
of right now,
can-
they're not.
Okay.
But I
Can
can
we reach out to them? Yeah, because
We
we
did a
have people
partnership.
interested in
We had an
getting
email.
those bikes.
That's why I
We
got
had-
my bike.
Yeah,
We
a lot of
had-
people do, some people don't have bikes.
We had a meeting with Helbiz, which is the micro mobility transportation that you guys see around town today.
Yeah.
And they are gonna be coming out for those who do not have bikes.
Good.
But there is a fee to that.
How much?
So we'll start promoting that as well. We just needed to confirm the.
And we're still gonna have freebie, right?
Yes,
That's what my,
freebie,
that's my
yes.
question. I've been
We
waiting.
had it
waiting.
last time.
I'll double check.
Yeah, double check.
Nowhere,
Yeah.
nowhere does it say, not even in the
No,
list, anywhere that says free.
confirmed, so
What's a
we- we're not putting out any.
It's a
freebie.
It's
a little electrical car.
So you're not riding a bike?
Correct.
No, for those people who can't ride a bike or don't wanna ride a bike.
And
they
then
have-
how do we have access to that? Like, if there's 30 people that need the freebie, we have one freebie.
It's only for 2 people.
That's probably why we're not advertising, but I'll double check for you guys.
But I would, yeah, I don't know who put on the event last time or who assisted with, from the
Yeah.
town, but it was a very well put out event. There was a ton of bikes from what I was told. The freebie was working and people were using the
Yeah,
freebie.
and we only had 2 freebies.
I remember that.
Yeah,
we
the
had
thing
to
is that
at
our
one point they put some of the
subcommittee
bikes in
got
the truck. Didn't they put put your bike in
Yeah,
the truck because you
sure
couldn't
did,
bike anymore?
but I couldn't bike anymore.
Yeah, because you were tired.
Oh, that's too much.
No, I believe.
My wife's
Oh,
right.
yeah,
My
it's so
wife-
true.
my
Yeah, I
wife-
wasn't here, but it was a great event.
Okay.
I wanna do it, but I don't have a bike and.
Okay. Here's what I would suggest you, who is chairing that committee now? Is it you?
Mario
Pineda.
Yes, from Mario?
Mario. Vice chair.
He's the chair of.
Well, here's your contact person.
No,
She
he's
can help.
For education.
for education.
Okay. All right, so ladies and gentlemen,
Quick question, Kyle, we didn't ask you, has anyone RSVP for the Hispanic Venezuela?
Yes, they have.
That's what we
Great.
need.
How many people
Great.
we have?
How many
I'll let
people?
you know.
okay, before we go, it was an oversight on my part, and I want to apologize to Officer Amanda. Amador, he was here and I didn't mention you. Thank you, sir, so much for coming. And he had called me and said he was coming. I'm sorry, sir, I'm so sorry. We appreciate you always being here and sharing with us what the police department is going to do to help support all the various events. So again, thank you. So I'm sorry. It's a
Well, they're
whole
very
time.
important and imperative in the.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
fire fight.
Oh, we
Yeah,
can't do it
they're-
without
yeah,
them.
we got your back,
That's what I
so-
was waiting for.
And
Yeah.
you can't do it without them, because it gets dark at night and those police cars save us.
Yeah, they recommend.
Yeah. Is there any other issue to come before this body? Yes.
I'm gonna be a
come on,
right
please.
along.
I don't care for the vaccine.
All right, if there isn't any more business to come before this, if there isn't any other business to come before this body, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. We are hour and a half over, 30 minutes over is what we usually are, so. Listen, thank you all for coming, and we look forward to seeing you on the, what is the 15th? The 6th, and the bottle. Please don't forget a bottle of wine. Thank you all. Have a good evening. Thank you. Listen, thank you.
Yeah.